Attorney Tyrone Blackburn, did the judge in the TD Jakes lawsuit call you a liar? Oh, God, I think you in trouble, sir.
How can I love somebody else if I can't love myself enough to know when it's time to let go?
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the St. James Show. I am your host. I'm your prelate for the day. I'm your apostle. I am who you need me to be. I may be even a few of your sweet daddies. I am him, St. James. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming through today. As always, will you do me a great big favor and hit that like button for me and hit that subscribe button if you're just passing through the sanctuary on today and you're not a subscriber. Trust me, you're going to want to subscribe. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also turn on your notifications by hitting that bell button. Also share on all your social media websites. That's Facebook, X, OnlyFans, Just for Fan, every fan you got. Hit it. Share us all over the place. And for your monetary donations, $ the St. James Show, as we always do, or it's always running at the bottom of the screen. All right. So you never have to worry about how can I support to make sure that this channel and this platform soars. There it is right there. So throughout the show, feel free to support. We also have a goal tonight. If you click the goal button on top of the chat, it'll have a suggested goal there. You can go with that one, or you can do a higher one or a lower one. It's whatever you want to do on tonight, but we're going to do 10 on tonight, okay? So listen here. We got some things to talk about. That Tyrone Blackburn, when I tell you, he's not having a good week. It's not good for him. But we're going to definitely get into it. What's up, JP? Thank you for coming through all the way from Texas. BBJ, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. What's up, Tasha Haynes? What's up, Tasha? Where you been? What's up, TJ? Thank you for being a member. Jazz Harris is in the building. The beautiful, the lovely, the real K Fit. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for supporting over here at the St. James Show. Mary is in the building. Everybody hit that like button for me. What's up, Deacon Trustee, Armor Bear? What's up, Kevin Moore? Good to see you. Sharon T. Leonard is here on today. Thank you so much for coming through. Tashi. What's up with your boy, Tashi? What is up with your boy? Faith Nation is in the building. Good to see you on today. What's up, Jay Boogie? Come on, you got to separate the wheat from the tares, all right? Sean Nathan, what's going on? What's going on? I am Courtney. Evangelist Courtney is in the building, and you brought your armor bearer, Nicole C. What's up, Nicole? Good to see you. Good to see you. Make sure if you want to join that membership right there, J Boogie has it. J Boogie has it right there. Matter of fact, I'm going to pin it. I always do that. I gotta wait till I can see it. Oh, I hate when it does that. It won't let you like pin things. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. There it goes. It's pinned in the top of the chat. So if you want to become a member, because I have we're definitely doing a members only live tomorrow for sure. Yes, members only live tomorrow. So you want to be in the building. You got to be in the building on tomorrow, but make sure that you are a member of the St. James Show, okay? Where them fans at? Come on now. Come on, Princess is in the building. What's up, Princess and Kitten Heels? And brought their little tiptoed their heels up in the building. Yes, you did. What's up, Simone Style? Good to see you. Thank you so much for your support. All right, Duke Mon, Sharon Perry is in the building. Charlotte Wheeler, what's up, Charlotte? Career goals. The juice is in the building. What's up? Regina is in the building. We love Regina over there at the Juice Radio and Talk Show. You said Blackburn gives me heartburn. And obviously he gives the judge the same. So that's very interesting. My. Cruz, are you over there in China with Really B? Are you here? You know, y'all be slipping away. Y'all be slipping away, you know. Cree B is in the building. Listen, I was over there listening to Jai. He was talking about Todd Hall. Now, that woman ain't nothing but a Regina Adams. I don't know why he pumping that up. That is crazy. That woman's crazy, and that ain't Todd Hall's wife. That ain't nothing but a Regina Adams 2.0, okay? But listen, y'all listen to it, but that ain't it. Yeah, Cruz is in the building, Miss K-Fit. Oh, she left you this time? Oh, I knew you. I could have known you was going to be in China. Just knew that was going to happen. Listen here. Let's start this thing out today. We're going to get right to it, okay? So I don't want to take up all your time. Listen, just a little background, but listen. Every time, I keep saying listen. When you want to know more about the Bishop Jakes lawsuit, I do have a playlist here on the St. James Show. Just click the playlist and all the videos that's related to the Bishop Jakes lawsuit. You can catch up. You can figure out what's going on. You can use some of the court documents that we read. You've got some time, put it on 1.2, 1.25, 1.5. Do whatever you need to do to get caught up on the Jakes lawsuit. We know that yesterday that we reported that Attorney Tyrone Blackburn, and we all know who Tyrone Blackburn is by now, don't we? He's the clout chasing, demand letter sending type of attorney that Dwayne Youngblood is being represented by in this Jakes lawsuit. Now, yesterday he tried to get out of it. He tried to get out of it on yesterday. And let's see what the judge has to say about him trying to get out of representing Dwayne Youngblood. My. Anyway, so we're in this lawsuit of Dwayne Youngblood come out and said that, Bishop Jakes, really small synopsis, everybody. Bishop Jakes, about in 85, early 80s, I don't know when that happened. He went to hug him. And he hugged him, and he went to kiss him, and it was a missed kiss. And from that, he just died. Youngblood said he just died. And since that, he resurrected after he died, he went on to assault minors and get multiple convictions of assaulting minors, okay? Multiple convictions, not hearsay, not anything like that. He was actually convicted. So many years after, he sat in jail. He sat in that jail all day long, like Celie. Oh, no, like Sophia in The Color Purple. He got out. And in that time, it's not too clear yet. Things haven't all been so clear. We don't know when he started having discussions about going on Larry Reed's platform. to have this discussion about his thoughts on how he felt Bishop Jakes did him, the assaults that he did to him years ago. We don't quite, it's a little murky right now, but I think everything's going to come to light in not too many days hence, okay? But he sat in there, got on the platform, started throwing out all these accusations, and his brother came and threw a few out here. He sent in the affidavits that didn't mean nothing. Some other drug dealers, some other addicts, some other assaulters, some affidavits that it just didn't fly. In all that, it seems like the can has been kicked down the street by Tyrone Blackburn. Because if you ask my opinion, I think they feel that Tyrone is a co-conspirator as well as Larry Reed. So they haven't named these people, yet, but they are putting a lot of things out there that are giving us the direction that they're going into once the judge gives his okay for things to continue. We're going to see right now what this judge has to say about first this, they had to respond to what Youngblood had put in after the judge pretty much dismissed this anti-slap mess and this other stuff. He just missed that. He was like, no, we going on with this trial here. Trial is on. But of course, Youngblood came up with a whole lot of chat GPT stuff and some other things that he tried to do to try to cover it all up. Yeah, so said he taking the video down. He said he's taking the video down? When he say that? Let's see if he did it yet. Oh, please. Larry said he gonna take the video down? Leave it up. You can leave it up. Leave it up. Get your cash. Get your moolah. Get your dinero. Let's see. When was this? Oh, that was November, huh? Okay. No, take it down, Jess. Say no. Leave that up there. No, it ain't down. No, it's 33. No, I don't think it's down. It's like that other one had more. Oh no, he ain't got it down yet. Leave it up. Leave it up. You said that yesterday, huh? Okay. Well, let's see what the judge has to say in regards to this ridiculous stuff that Blackburn sent the court a little while ago. Make sure you guys hit that like button for me, and make sure that if you would like to help us reach our goal on tonight, do hit that goal button and support the platform on tonight. When it stopped making cash, I guess it's time to take it down. The lie detector test determined. Not the news before public to announce he's taking. You think he got a little heads up? Tosh, you got a little heads up? Here we go, y'all. I love this memorandum order. This is from the courts, everybody, from the judge, okay? This is from the courts. Honorable William S. Stickman IV. Let's go through with this. Defendant Dwayne Youngblood filed a notice of motion to dismiss a supporting brief and a reply brief requesting the dismissal of plaintiff Thomas Dexter Jakes' complaint with prejudice. Youngblood is represented by attorney Tyrone A. Blackburn, the signatory of the motion and briefs. Blackburn is admitted pro hoc vice on behalf of Youngblood. While reviewing Blackburn's briefs, the court became aware of the fact that they contain wholly fabricated quotations from case law, including fabricated quotations from the court's own prior opinion. In addition to including non-existent quotations, the briefs repeatedly misrepresented case law. Oh, God. Jakes also noticed the issues with Youngblood's brief and addressed them in his brief opposing Youngblood's motion to dismiss. In his reply, Blackburn failed to offer any explanation for the deficiencies and fabrications in his brief. Instead, he brazenly attempted to mount a quo defense. Y'all know I know these words. I know attorney. Asserting that a LexisNexis document analysis of plaintiff's own opposition brief reveals a pattern of misquotations, superficial citation, and invocation of authorities that are either in opposite or do not support the propositions for which they are cited. The court thoroughly reviewed Jakes' response brief and did not find any fabricated quotations or misrepresented case law. Y'all see where we're going today? You see where we're going, everybody? Only Youngblood, through Attorney Blackburn, submitted a brief repellent with non-existent quotations and repeated misrepresentations of actual case law. Even more outrageously, a review of Youngblood's reply brief demonstrates that it too includes fabricated quotes and misrepresents case law. In other words, when accused of a serious ethical violation, Attorney Blackburn chose to double down. This is very troubling. The court views Blackburn's conduct as a clear ethical violation of the highest order. On January 25th, 2025, Blackburn filed a withdrawal of appearance. Blackburn has legal and ethical duties under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 11B, Rule 11B, and Pennsylvania Rule of Professional Conduct 3.3. An attorney, as an officer of the court, has an overarching duty of candor to the court. Case law there. Specifically, Rule B states that an attorney representing a written motion to the court certifies that the best of the person's knowledge, information, and belief formed after an inquiry reasonable under the circumstances. The claims, defenses, and other legal contentions are warranted by existing law or by non-frivolous argument for extending, modifying, or reversing existing law or for establishing new law. Okay, let's go up here. And then it says, even though Blackburn is admitted to practice law in state of New York, he is subject to Pennsylvania rules of professional conduct since he is admitted in the United States District Court for the Western District of Pennsylvania pro hoc vice. See, local civil acts or admissions by an attorney admitted to practice before the court individually or in concert with others that violate the rules of professional conduct adopted by the court shall constitute misconduct and shall be grounds for discipline. The rules of professional conduct adopted by the court are the rules of professional conduct adopted by the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. Whoever an attorney applies to be admitted or is admitted to the court for purposes of a particular proceeding, pro hoc vice, the attorney shall be deemed thereby to have conferred disciplinary jurisdiction upon the court for any alleged misconduct of that attorney arising in the course of or in preparation for such proceedings. Do we understand what's going on here? He's in danger. Danger. This is legal malpractice. Yes, real K-Fit. It is legal malpractice. And we know that Blackburn has already been accused of lying and not doing the right things, even in the Diddy trial. T.I., all we can go down the list of Tyrone Blackburn's issues. Okay. Violations of Rule 11 may lead to sanctions. Y'all hear what I say? Violations of Rule 11 may lead to sanctions. Rule 11 sanctions are based on an objective standard of reasonableness under the circumstances. Bad faith is not required. Rule 11C1 provides that sanctions can be initiated either by motion or on the court's initiative. When acting on its own initiative, however, the district court should first enter an order describing the specific conduct that it believes will warrant sanctions and direct the person it seeks to sanction to show cause why particular sanctions should not be imposed. Oh, he thought he was going to leave this case, y'all. He thought that one-liner yesterday, he was just going to be gone and everything was going to be okay. Not so, according to this, Nicole. Yeah, not so. According to this case law, a legal argument may be sanctioned as frivolous when it amounts to an abuse of the adversary system. Some more case law. Merely incorrect legal statements are not sanctionable under Rule 11b2. Further, PA RPC 33 states, a lawyer shall not knowingly make a false statement of material fact or law to a tribunal or fail to correct a false statement or of material fact or law previously made to the tribunal by the lawyer. And there's the thing right there. Princess, thank you so much for being a member for 12 months. You said TD Jake sitting in his recliner, getting ready. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. My. The judge goes on to say, everybody, y'all hit that like button for me. Please hit the like button. How many likes do we have? We only have 47. That's not acceptable. Hit the like button, everybody. The judge goes on to say, the fact that Blackburn submitted fabricated quotations and misleading analysis of case law is plain to see from the face of the briefs. When reviewing Blackburn's briefs, the court was perplexed to see quotes attributed to the court's own prior opinion in this case, as well as other case law that was wholly fabricated. He not only fabricated other case law, y'all, but he also fabricated what the courts in this case had already talked about. Oh, Jesus. By way of example, the following italicized portions of Blackburn's brief supporting the motion to dismiss represents a sampling of the fabricated quotes. Oh. On this one, the court has already noted in its April 25th, 2025 memorandum opinion that plaintiff's complaint is repetitive and heavy on rhetoric, with no factual detail supporting the core elements of its claims. So they're pointing out the lies. They're pointing out the lies that Tyrone Blackburn put in his court documents for this case. Number two, courts recognize that the threat of protracted litigation could have an undue chilling effect on the exercise of First Amendment rights. The law requires a plaintiff to plead the exact words spoken or published and the context in which they were made. The mere incantation of harm or retributional injury without identifying the defamatory words and the speaker is insufficient. And here it says the fabricated quotations purportedly from the court's opinion is repeated verbatim in Blackburn's brief at ECF number 43, page 6. Not only does Blackburn attribute statements to the court that does not exist, but he also twists the court's prior opinion beyond recognition. The courts couldn't even recognize what he was talking about, y'all. My God. For example, Blackburn claims that the court in ECF number 40 stated, number one, that the complaint fails to identify with clarity the specific allegedly defamatory statements made by Youngblood. And number two, that Jake's allegations rely on conclusory assertions and lack factual content. The court made no such findings in its memorandum opinion. There is nothing in the court's opinion that could be reasonably constructed and standing for such contentions. In that opinion, the court expressly refused to address the sufficiency of the complaint, stating, the court will dismiss Youngblood's motion because it relies on statutory provisions that are not applicable in this litigation. The court will not reframe Youngblood's argument to fit within Rule 12b-6 or Rule 56 framework. If Youngblood wishes to file a motion to dismiss based on 12b-6 or Rule 56, he may do so provided that his filing complies with all applicable federal rules of civil procedure. Thank you so much, Kevin Moore, for putting the color on it and help us reach our goal. Thank you. I will read. He's self-sabotaging. I don't know, Alice Holder. I don't know why it seems like he is self-sabotaging him. He's doing it. Yeah, it sounds like he's a professional lie. That's pretty much what the judge is saying. Yeah. Blackburn better read TD's book. He must. Oh God. Regina says, how's his poor process? We want to go find what a processor he done ran over the other day. Where that person, he's having a bad week, Regina. It's not good for him. Blackburn later states, in reference to the court's opinion, the court further noted that plaintiff's complaint fails to establish that Youngblood's statements were specifically of and concerning him. Blackburn stated the court independently noted the deficiencies raised in Rule 12b-6 motion in its April 25th, 2025 memorandum opinion. The court observed the complaint's failure to allege specific defamatory statements, overuse or conclusory assertions, and lack of factual context supporting falsity and malice. Once again, the court made no such statements in the opinion, nor did it make any statements that can be remotely interpreted as standing for these propositions. This quote is repeated verbatim at ECF number 43, page 6. Thank you so much, Princess, for putting the color on it. When Erica Badu said, you better call Turbo, she didn't mean this. No. She didn't mean this, Tyrone. She didn't mean you. He got a civil. So I go check. Oh, let me tell you, this is crazy. This is wild. Number 5. This is some more stuff. These are some more things that he lied about, or misrepresented, as the Pennsylvania Superior Court has hailed, absent a civil cause of action for a particular act, there can be no cause of action for civil conspiracy to commit that act. Boy, I tell you, he shouldn't have relied on that ChatGPT. The court noted that when underlying tort collapses, there can be no cause of action for conspiracy. These are all the things he quoted. These are some more things that he quoted. Conspiracy claim cannot survive. These are things that he quoted, y'all. I'm not going to read them all. Let's go to what the judge says. Even after being accused of making false representations in his initial brief, Blackburn's reply brazenly contained misrepresentations of law and partially fabricated quotations. The italicized portions of the quotation from Blackburn's brief below do not exist in case law. They don't even exist nowhere, Blackburn. These quotes represent a sampling of the partially fabricated quotes contained in his reply brief. Oh, this is just some more. The defamatory meaning threshold. Listen, It's so many lies, y'all. We don't even need to go showing a willingness to interpret it. Listen, he lied so much, I hate to even, repeat them. Vague accusations. Remember he said they had vague accusations. Yet none of this was actually case law, you guys. Blackburn clients need to sue him for foul. They really do. They need to sue him. My thing is, on the flip of that, can Dwayne Youngblood still sue him? Even though he did pro bono. Come on, Nicole, give me that answer. Somebody got that answer. Tashi, somebody. The Supreme Court has made it clear that failure to investigate without more does not establish actual. See, these are still some more lies that he made, y'all. Lies, and more lies. All them student loans. I don't know who gave him that law degree. No idea. These quotations are merely representative of the fabricated statements in Blackburn's briefs. There are additional fabricated quotations that the court does not enumerate in this order. They're saying there's so many, we didn't even want to put them all down. In addition to including non-existent quotations in his briefs, Blackburn also cited cases from proportions that they do not represent. The court will not recite every time Blackburn misconstrued a case in its brief, and it believes the above quotations represents the most serious and alarming issues with the documents. Attorneys are permitted to make creative case comparisons and may even stretch existing case law to support their argument. Nevertheless, advocacy is confined by Rule 11B and PA RPC 3.3. Attorneys have a duty of candor to the court. They must make reasonable inquiries under the circumstances to ensure their legal contentions are warranted by existing law, not made up law, existing law. Attorneys may fabricate non-existent quotations from case law. Attorneys may not fabricate non-existent quotations from case law or from the court's opinion, and may not cite cases for legal propositions for which they do not stand or even discuss. The court presumes that Youngblood's briefs were constructed by generative artificial intelligence used by Blackburn. Could somebody say could somebody put Chat GPT in the chat right now? Giselle, thank you so much, Giselle. I appreciate you, Giselle. Thank you for your support so much. Could somebody put Chat GPT in the what did she say? What did I miss? Did he graduate from? He must have. Not accredited. The court said he used Chat GPT, and he said rather than an effort by Blackburn to personally construct false and misleading briefs, it does not matter. Attorneys have ethical obligations under Rule 11 and their state's respective professional canyons to review every document submitted to a court under their name and signature to ensure accuracy, candor, and overall compliance with the ethical obligations. Oh my goodness, this is bad. This is bad, Tyrone. Bad. This duty is non-delegatable. You can't delegate this to your people. An attorney who signs and files a brief authorized by a non-lawyer, such as a paralegal, secretary, or intern, is personally responsible for all that it contains. The same applies to artificial intelligence. In other words, Youngblood could not outsource his obligations to the court and his client to a third party, including artificial so-called intelligence. That's what the judge said. So-called intelligence. Whoever or whatever drafted the brief signed and filed by Blackburn, it is clear that he, at the very best, acted with a culpable neglect of his professional obligations. The alternative is that he acted in a conscious effort to deceive and mislead the court. Let me read that again. The alternative is that he acted in a conscious effort to deceive and mislead the court. At this point, in light of Blackburn's continuing offenses in his reply brief, the court is inclined to believe the latter. All this over in the interview. That's without Regina. They said they just told their story, Regina. They just told their story. And likes to play busted. Oh my God. Continuing offenses. Oh, what's up, resurrect? And now, this 26th day of June 2025, it is hereby ordered that defendant Dwayne Youngblood's motion to dismiss according to Rule 12b-6 ECF number 43 and reply memorandum of law in further support of defendant Dwayne Youngblood's motion to dismiss are stricken. Can somebody put stricken in the chat? Are stricken from the record. Stricken by. Your lies are gone. Has no merit here. It's like writing on toilet tissue. Stricken. They're gone. In accordance with Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12A4A, Youngblood must answer Jakes' complaint on or before July 11th, 2025. Listen here. The judge is given some very strict time frames here. The judge is tired of these people. He's tired. He's tired of Youngblood. He's tired of Blackburn. Tired. It is further ordered that Blackburn is ordered to show cause. You ain't going nowhere, Blackburn. You are ordered by the courts to show cause not to exceed 15 pages by July 18th. As to why his statements in ECF notes 43 and 46 have not violated Rule 11B and PA RPC 3.3. He got to answer to the judge, to the court. Specifically, Blackburn is directed to thus show cause as to the fabricated quotations and blatant misrepresentations of case law and the court's opinion in his brief. They want to know exactly why you did it. Possible sanctions include, but not limited to, monetary sanctions, including attorney's fees related to the litigation of the motions at issue. So they say he gonna have to pay Jackson's revocation of Blackburn's pro hoc vice status, kick him up out of Pennsylvania. You can't practice here. And other sanctions deemed appropriate by the court. Boy, by the time they get to New York and get all those, what they're accusing him of and the other cases, I don't know what's going to happen. Tyrone moving to Dubai too? Is he going too creepy? Oh, he better move to Oh, my goodness. It is finally ordered that a show cause hearing will be held on July 24th. And check this out, y'all. Check this out. This judge is tired of Black and the Burns. It is finally ordered that a show cause hearing will be held on July 24th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. in courtroom AB for Blackburn to show cause as to why sanctions should not be issued relative to potential violations of Rule 11B. Oh, they tired of you, Blackburn. They said if Jake's plans to seek attorney's fees in relation to the litigation surrounding the motion to dismiss, Jake's and his counsel must attend the hearing. Otherwise, all parties and counsel are welcome to attend to show cause hearing, but only Blackburn's attendance is required. Whew. Blackburn shall provide a copy of this order to his client, Youngblood, and file a notice of compliance on the court's docket after doing so. Blackburn's attempt to withdraw as counsel in this action does not insult him from the repercussions of his actions. Insulate. Blackburn's attempt to withdraw as counsel in this action does not insulate him from the repercussions of his actions. His pending withdrawal of appearance will remain under advisement until the resolution of the show cause hearing. Oh God. Oh God. Blackburn, the judge is tired of you. It's giving ICE will be at the door. he gonna hit you right to Dubai. Y'all remember all that stuff he was talking and all that, real fast talking he was doing over there on other platforms. And he was, calling TD snakes and doing all that mess. Y'all remember he was doing all that? Y'all remember that? Now, for y'all who don't quite understand some of the dynamics and things that this Tyrone Blackburn, his personality, who he is as an attorney, let's go back to Armand Wiggins, who sat in the courtroom next to him and had some things to say. First, he tried to get a little interview. He had a question that he posed to Youngblood. Who the snake now? There it is. Here is Armand Wiggins giving his assessment on Tyrone Blackburn and his professionalism.
Are you referencing
Tyrone Blackburn?
some of the victims? Several of the victims. Okay, thank you. What are you guys looking at?
Tyrone Blackburn.
How are your clients feeling?
That's him right there with the other struggle braids. He got the struggle braids right there. That's him. The other one is Little Rod. Y'all remember Little Rod? He was trying to do a money grab too. They tried to do one with Diddy and that didn't quite work out. All the paperwork was thrown out as well for that case that was wrong in New York. If you recall, the paperwork was thrown out there too.
Just answer Burn. I told her they were going to make these things because of the grandmother.
Thank you. Get out.
I answered her question and said that I'm not making any mistake.
Hold on, y'all.
How do you feel about people saying that you're a clout chasing lawyer?
Just like I answered that woman's question earlier, I'm not speaking as pursuant to the bad word. So,
Now,
Let's get into this real quick, y'all.
Now, Tyrone Blackburn was the lawyer. So Tyrone Blackburn was over there asking for exuberant amount of cash, demand letters, sending demand letters, making up, adding stories together. He went out and said that Diddy walked up to her, grabbed her by the titties, told her, "Bitch, I'm the devil," and hung her over the balcony. That's what she wrote in the letter. In Tyrone's letter, he wrote that the complaint was Diddy walked up to her, grabbed her by the, told her, "B, I'm the devil," and hung her over the balcony by her titty. She said none of
What he's describing is when he was representing a witness that was testifying in the Diddy case, who also had claimed that all this happened. Diddy put her over the balcony and grabbed her. He sent the demand letter in the name of that woman as well. And the woman is saying, we'll see what she's saying.
that was all incorrect. And at this point, we think Tyrone might have been asking for $200 million. We don't know. So she fired Tyrone Blackburn. Now, everybody gagged because I'm thinking, oh my God. Tyrone was in the court. Tyrone was at the courthouse, so I would have loved for Tyrone to be there. Me and Tyrone, he got on my nerves the first day. But, Tyrone's actually key. But the thing is this. If I would have been there, because he used to sit behind me and sometimes we sat on the same row, I'd have looked at him and saw his name get dropped. I wish he was there today because I'd have looked at him like, girl, so you was out here really carrying like that with this lady and just making stuff up and just asking for exuberant amounts of cash. This is why people don't be respecting Tyrone Blackburn, because he always gets tied into the wrong part of the lawsuit. Tyrone Blackburn is a hoot. Actually, one of the days he got kicked out of the court. Because the thing is, if I don't want my lawyer over there being messy, Tyrone be in the damn courtroom doing that, taking notes, and and they tell you, "Sir, can you please be quiet? You cannot talk in the courtroom." Every time something comes, you supposed to be taking note every time you say, At one point, I think the man just told her, he said, "Sir, you just won't be quiet. And we're going to have to ask you to leave the courtroom." I don't need my lawyer being put out the courtroom.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, girl. And I don't need you and ooh and I and in the courtroom. Like, I don't need my lawyer giving that. You're too sassy and too messy. You know what I mean? Then you need to make sure these documents is right, Tyrone. Right. Girl. So I can't wait to see what he says to that, because she said she had to get rid of Tyrone Blackburn because he filed a demand letter with an exuberant amount of cash, and everything in the letter was written incorrectly. Wow. And so she hired a new lawyer.
So, yeah. As we can see, this isn't anything new to Tyrone Blackburn. And I think the judge is making him go to court. He has to go to Pittsburgh. There's no Zoom. There's no phone call in. The judge wants him in that courtroom. The judge wants to see what ridiculous foolishness am I having to deal with. I just got to see this foolishness in person. He said, I don't want to do nothing. So it's interesting. I was reading that, and it looks like if they do want the attorney's fees, then Jakes and his team have to show up. If they don't want attorney's fees, then only Blackburn has to show up. I got a sneaky suspicion Jakes will be on his private jet headed over to Pittsburgh. July what? 24th? You said Amtrak goes to Pittsburgh. Well, he better get on Amtrak. He better get on there and get over there to Pittsburgh. He got to answer on the spot. No chat GPT. You can't say, excuse me, judge, give me 5 minutes. I need you to tell me. It's a shame. You know, it's what we all thought. It's funny how now over here, we got some great thinkers and some critical thinkers, and, you know, we're analyzing what's presented before us and not, you know, we're not adding a whole bunch of yeast and all that too. Yeah, we have an opinion, but we're actually analyzing exactly what's being presented to us. And as we started looking and reading and assessing, we're like, this guy ain't right. He's out of here. The judge put that on him. I want to see him. Look up on his face. It's going down in Pittsburgh. Oh, yes, it is. I had 3 of you guys hit the goal. Can we get 7 more? Any amount. That's just a suggested amount, but any amount. Jakes is flying to Pittsburgh. Because I guarantee you, because at the end of that, it says, let me just see it real quick, because it says, if Jake plans to seek attorney's fees in relation to the litigation surrounding the motion to dismiss. So everything that they had to put together in regards to this motion to dismiss, they can get paid for. Jakes and his counsel must attend the hearing. Otherwise, all parties and counsel are welcome to attend to the show cause here, but only Blackburn attendance is required. So if they don't want to, they better get to that courtroom. They better get to that courtroom and get them fees. Now, I don't know where they're going to pull them from, because I don't believe he has no money. I personally believe that Tyrone Blackburn is broke. You said that he going to be there. He going to be there. I believe he will be there too. Oh, I want to see him, look up on his face, there to sing forever of his saving grace. On the streets of glory, there I lift my voice. Cares all past, home at last, ever to rejoice. Oh, there's going to be a rejoiceful day. We told you, Blackburn, you wasn't. You're a co-conspirator, I think, too. That's what they say. Oh, it's actually oh my. A suite is already booked. When this dropped today, the suite was booked. Oh yes, the suite was over. Stupid games, stupid prizes, booby prizes. That's what you get. Oh, listen here. So y'all say Larry said he taking down that video. I didn't hear that. You know, one thing that Larry said today was a little disturbing to me. He was talking about that guy who's been coming out against that Matthews preacher, and you know that guy's just over the top. He's just doing a whole lot. Now, I'm not if they did it, but you know, doing a whole lot. But he was like, I can't trust a man who cheat on their wife. Okay. They a liar. I thought this was on Do Not Disturb. Why is that coming through? Could have swore I put that on Do Not Disturb. That should not be coming through. Yeah, that's what he said, Sean. I was like, okay. Hide in the bat cave. He said how many people Tyrone will be. How many think Tyrone? If he gonna be a no-show? If he's a no-show, he's gonna be sanctioned by that court. And I'm wondering if are they going to permanently strict him from practicing as pro hoc vice or whatever in Pennsylvania. I wonder if that judge can do that, because they said they'll take that. And the thing about it, he may have had knew that this was coming, because he tried to get out of being his attorney yesterday. But you can't just skirt after you done lied to the court. He can't just say, "Oh well, I'm a." No, you lied. You already put it in black and white. You're a liar. You misrepresented a whole bunch of issues. He gonna ask for an extension. He might. I doubt the judge is gonna give it to him. He ain't got nothing else to do. All his cases they're just demand letter cases. And just like with the Jake's demand letter, they slipped in there, and he was underage. They slipped that in there, and we know that wasn't the story that was told, leading up to the demand letter. We've never heard that Dwayne Youngblood was underage at that time. We heard 18 or 19. He couldn't quite get his story together, but he fluctuated between 18 and 19, not 16 and 17, not 15 and 17. He didn't fluctuate that way. He fluctuated between 18 and 19. But in the demand letter that Tyrone Blackburn slipped to him, he put in there little overage. He was underaged. Well, you want to know? Danny Lewis has a question. He said, "I just want to know he just got one question. Is Jake still dumb for filing a lawsuit?" They called him dumb, Danny Lewis. They called him stupid. Oh, it was going to bring out the whole can of worms, the whole can of the worms and the snails and the crickets. Everything is going to pop out. Everything's going to pop out. Contempt could get him in jail. That's right. Maybe that's what he needs. He was over there yesterday in jail, or running down that process server. You know what? And it's going to be interesting to see what those sanctions are. And he pretty much ran down an officer of the court, a process server, and you back up and do a Suge Knight? Now, come on. He has to get something. He had this. He has that. I mean, he has so many things that are going on. He's had a bad week, y'all. They're going to report him to the bar. And he's already been reported to the bar, according to the New York folks that have complained about him. He's already been. So it's just a compiling of, we need to know who took the bar exam for him. It's mandatory. We got to know. Based on his character, I doubt he shows up. He already knows he's losing his license. That you may have something. And maybe he's trying to throw out a whole bunch of demand letters before his license gets revoked. Maybe that's his MO. Let's throw him out and see what sticks. Yeah. The Lord is outside. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The clout chasing never really works for you. You can't just continue to be a clout chaser all your life, okay? Oh, my goodness. So, we've heard everything from, Jake's is dumb and, and my thing is now we see that the attorneys that Bishop Jakes have are skilled and correct and knowledgeable attorneys. So regardless of who the co-conspirators get for their attorneys, they better beware that they're out for blood. And they got all day. Like they said, Jake sits in a recliner now. He's handing over the church to Sarah and Torrey next month. He got plenty of time to go to court, plenty of time to meet with his attorneys. And the sad part about it it's going to cost the co-conspirators a lot of money. A lot of money. It's already ain't it really crazy? He came in as pro bono for Dwayne Youngblood, and with all his shenanigans and foolishness, he gonna have to come out of pocket now. If he don't justify all his lies, misrepresentations, blatant lies, as the court said, if he doesn't justify, and you can't come in here and say, well, I just relied on ChatGPT or my paralegal did. They said, no. Regardless of what you present to the court and who gives it to you, you're the one who's signing. You're the one who's signing off on it. It's on you, not the other people. What about your friends? Are they going to be around? Or are they going to stick around? Oh, they never expected it to go this far. They thought it was going to be a quick money grab. We're going to do 6. We're going to ask for 6. We may get 2 to 3. We'll go ahead and divvy up that money and we'll just go on about our business, and we'll hit them again later on with another amount. We'll dangle some more accusations in his face so he would do it. So another amount we'll go for next time. Yeah. That's what they were going. That was the plan. And Jake's called their bluff. And you got to realize, you have to realize that Jake's has a lot of people that are behind him. A lot of people that are saying, go, get them. I'm sick of them. They try to destroy my life. But regardless of the turning point that people may be at now, there still may be consequences for your actions. Yeah, Big Daddy Warbuck. Let me see here. Dip between the have and the have. Yeah, that's dip between the have and the have-nots. Yeah. Oh, my good. Money grab gone wrong. Yeah, Big Daddy Warbuck. He said, why would they think this man was going to just allow them to call him an offender and then pay him too? Yeah, it's like you already did it. It's another thing if he said, I'm going to go on Larry Reid's show and I'm going to talk about my story that I conjured up, and I'm going to say you tried to hug me, and you hugged me and you tried to kiss me and I feel essayed. That's what I'm going to say. You don't go and do a whole doggone interview and then try to come up with a doggone demand letter. Cassie says she sent the book over there to Diddy. And if you don't give me my cash, this is what I'm running with. He said, no, I'm not going to give you no cash. So guess what? Things get leaked it gets leaked. And the court gets hit up. And all of a sudden, then she got a settlement. It wasn't going to quite work. You thought that was going to work for you with Cassie? You're not Cassie, baby. Jesse said, thank God I'm not integral. Erica says, all jokes aside, I'm really fascinated with this case. This is going to set a precedent with bloggers reporting salacious stories like in the case of Tasha K and Cardi B. Right. And the thing about it, I don't know what the assertion is about Todd Hall and this woman who showed up at his church on Sunday, but it's quite evident and quite clear that the woman is like I said earlier, a Regina Adams 2.0. Todd Hall didn't know that woman. The woman wasn't married to Todd Hall, but people come to churches and they do that all the time. I'm not going to do a story and say that woman, he knew it. No. That's common sense. Didn't know that woman. So it is going to structure the way we present stories. I think this clicks and views and really desperate for this money is really going to get some people in a lot more lawsuits. Listen, lawsuits, some people wipe their behind with lawsuits. I don't know. Tasha K says she did until she got one. Yeah. Mm. They in the back end. That I want your voice box. I was thinking maybe he has an attorney. He said he better find an attorney quick. Youngblood better find an attorney because settling or being found liable may revoke his pro. Oh, Jesus. See, that's what I'm saying. They didn't really think this thing out, a boy 2012. They didn't really think this thing out. They just thought about money. He sat in that prison cell counting fictitious money. Had his brother pumping him up. You remember when he slid in the bed with me? And boy, gone somewhere. You said, imagine going to jail over a bad bill. Well, people are, some women and people don't care. It's the power that they like. Yeah. Is not believing the story of this young man. He said that he considers the family before reporting the story. He did not consider Jake's family. Well, no. No one considered Jake's family when all the accusations were being thrown out about him. The end of what? What was that? The end of like 23 into 24? And he had to endure peach cobbler. He had to endure motorcycle folk. He had to endure, he had fixers. People were saying they had text messages. He had to endure the Manasseh situation. He had to endure all of that stuff. He had to endure it's coming out and it's going to be worse than Eddie Long's situation. Does anybody remember that? That keeps ringing in my head. That this is going, you guys just wait. This TD Jake stuff is going to be worse than Eddie Long. And I really haven't heard anything that was worse than the stories of Eddie Long. Now, if you're still saying that you got some documentation, you may want to save it for court. But even with that, it doesn't have any validity in regards to this case. And that, I think that's what people are like tripping on. Well, we're going to talk about the character of him and this of him. Okay, but when it's time to present things, I guarantee you, Larry and whoever else are going to start presenting things that people are getting, and they're going to deny them. People are not going to want to get wrapped up and tied up in this case. So everything that everybody says they have as proof, say, that wasn't me. That somebody AI'd my telephone. I didn't send that to Larry. I didn't send that to Dwayne. I didn't do that. I don't know anything about that. And you think that they're going to go with you outside of going with Jake's. You finna do a Risa Tisa? County jail over somebody bad bill. Listen here. Yeah, so, I mean, when I seen that, I noticed that, and he gave some strict timelines. Again, we're still in these timelines, but Tyrone Blackburn doesn't really hold the court system, in my opinion, to the level that he should, according to his pledge as an attorney. So I don't really think that he will comply with this, but he's going to be sanctioned. This judge is tired of him. They've been kicking that can down the street, throwing anything and everything. That's like me going and presenting stuff to the courts. Sound like something I would do. I ain't no attorney. The ramifications of the Caribbeans. Y'all be typing everything, trying to sound it's ridiculous. So, listen, it is what it is. We're going to see what happens. You said, if his receipts look like that affidavit, oh, yeah, he in trouble. Yeah. Oh, remember that, Courtney? Oh, we're going to get all the affidavits of the people that have been essayed by Jakes. We got the brother. And then we got that other one who was the youth something or something. He said he had to watch Jakes come out the bathroom naked. Okay. Go wash your eyes out with vinegar and go live your life. Okay. All right. Keep trying to go after that. Yeah, that green is going to get him in prison. He gonna be over there with Blackburn. That's where he gonna be over there. Yeah. Where them papers at? What a rubber ducky. Remember the water you heard? Listen here, I'll come back. I'll be like, Judge, I'm sorry. If I was young blood, I would get on my belly and I would crawl all the way to Dallas and lay at the Potter's house doorstep and say, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I would blame it all on Larry. I'm just saying about Dwayne. I would blame it all on Larry. He made me do it. I was talking to him in prison, and I would just, my mouth would be of a pen of a ready writer. Oh, Larry, I'm sorry, but if I was Dwayne, I would throw you under the bus, under the semi. I wouldn't be under the knuckles of D.D. Jakes. Put them knee pads on, Nicole, and crawl over there to the Potter's house doorstep. Woo! Dwayne just say, I lost my way. I was in prison and my mind ain't right. Woo, Jesus. Telling you, I would be blaming on everybody I can blame it on. I would get myself out of this. Get me out, Jesus. Get me out, Lord. Let me see. They had the nerve to say the Star and Bishop claiming he would never put out a story to harm or always. Well, that's his story now, though, Erica. That's now. But we all been there when a lot of his stories really, really harmed people and their family. We've been there. You talk about flips. I'll be flipping so much, Mary. I would have flipped up out of here. Already turning on each other. Larry's talking different now. He talking different about Tyrone? They was over there cackling and, calling Jake's names and, just funny. All the people in the chat. They had a great time throwing digs at Jake's while his attorneys downloaded every doggone video. Like Ray said, that the Dropbox is full. The change up reel on that live flip more than pack. Ooh, I tell you, what you say? Let me tell you, if I was Dwayne, I would be flipping. I would be flipping. Listen, diarrhea coming out of each end of my mouth. Diarrhea. I would be throwing everybody under the bus. He called me for prayer. I would make up some shit. I'm just telling you, I would have to get myself up out of this one. I can't be under the knuckles of T.D. Jakes. Give him what he wants. He don't want you, Wayne. He want Larry. You know he want Larry. Now I think he want a little Tyrone too. He want a little slither of him. Why he at it. Let me just knock him out. Tyrone Blackburn, you remember when you said that your highest people that you esteemed, I think he said it was Eddie Long and Bishop T.D. Jakes. And all of a sudden, everything changed when he heard the Dwayne Youngblood story or when he heard the Diddy stuff. Again, a real thinker and especially an attorney would go, okay, let me get some more information before I just start talking about he was at a freak off. And it really makes him look even more stupid now for turning on T.D. Jakes because we all figured out who was at the freak offs. It wasn't like a freak off for all his friends. It was really a specific thing that he did with the women and then with an escort. He didn't want to see T.D. Jakes with none of them. He wanted to see the Punishers and the Slashers and the gladiators. That's what he wanted to see. So it makes this whole theory of him being at freak-offs just null and void. But young Blackburn wanted to run with this notion that, T.D. Jakes just let me down. Now I'm going to represent Dwayne Youngblood. No, you was in chats like you in this one now. You was in chats looking at and seeking out who you can devour to get to send a demand letter to. And it just didn't work out. Yeah. So you said he's calling Tyrone and Youngblood dumb? I don't know. Youngblood, you better go, you better let me tell you what you better do. God gonna see you through. Let me tell you what you ought to do. I would be singing like Luther. It wasn't me, Jakes. They tricked me. They bamboozled me. They lied. Now, Larry already said he took pictures of Manasseh's stuff when Manasseh didn't know. So that shows sneakiness. Then he wanted to see with the blessed feet. Yeah. He didn't want to, no Tootsie Rolls and stuff. He wanted. Jakes was there. He was just like he said. He even said that with Oprah. When he was at that thing with Oprah, him and Oprah. I guess they touring everywhere. I don't know what they're doing, but he was just saying, he just stopped in for that party for 30 minutes, and they put him in a love affair, with Diddy. So you said put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Let me tell you, all that will be going on about now. And after this came out today, and his attorney is possibly going to be sanctioned, and his pro hoc vice going to be removed. And somebody put in there, well, no, he has attorney. No, them attorneys ain't did nothing. All they doing is, and listen here, if I was those attorneys, being his way in to Pittsburgh, I would remove myself from that. I would withdraw myself from that. But I'm wondering even if the judge would allow them to do that, because the funny thing about it, and it's really how he's removing himself from only young blood. Is he planning on taking up any of the other co-conspirators? Y'all be a fool. I'll be singing. Prison, and he made me do it. I didn't want to do it. He made me. He said we were going to make money. He put me on it. Let me tell you the stories I would have. The stories I would have if I was you, young blood. Oh. Oh, Ruth. Did y'all get Ruth out of here? Wanted to be a woman, not cut me off. What? She said, you should be saved. I said, everyone knows who. Oh, Ruth, get out of here. Bye-bye. Like Manasseh. I would say, Manasseh, I need you to sing this for me to Bishop Jakes. Let me give it to you. Let me give it to you so you can sing it to him. Woo! Oh, it's so sad. It is so sad. No, it ain't. It ain't sad at all. It ain't sad. It's a long time coming. It's a long time coming. But guess what? A change is gonna come. All they have to do is listen to the prison calls there, but then listen. Maybe Tyrone Blackburn listened to the prison calls. Maybe he trying to get out before the hammer falls. Everyone did not realize the document was going to be scanned through AI screen. Listen here. Ooh, talking about a canary. Because he don't want, what does Dwayne have? Who's listening to Dwayne Youngblood? He doesn't have a following. He comes with this stupid story about a hug and a missed kiss. Who's saying Bishop Jakes is some kind of horrible predator because of that. Hey, we don't care. We knew that was stupid. But the fact of the matter is, so Bishop Jakes, he know that's dumb, and everybody knows that's dumb. But it's where you told the story and how long the person you told the story to has been telling stories on Bishop Jakes. Bishop Jakes even said it in some of his filings. It's the blogger that has been doing this for years, for a long time about me. Bishop Jakes said it. You got to remember, like I said, I have a playlist here if you want to go through the files, you know, the videos that I've done on this case. There's a playlist here. We're killing me. Okay, let me. Yeah, so we know that Bishop Jakes would, at this point, to catch Larry, he had to go to Dwayne. So I don't know. Listen, Larry likes it. Maybe he's smarter than we think. Maybe he knows, you know, maybe he has the attorney on deck that is going to, but I tell you this, it's going to cost a lot of money. Even, you know, it's going to cost a lot of money. Even when you talk about flights and things to Pittsburgh, staying there for the trial, or, you know, like Blackburn, he has to fly to Pittsburgh for his hearing. The judge wants to look up on his face. Yeah. He wants to see him. Now he has to waste money going to Pittsburgh, get in a room and doing all this other stuff. Dwayne's not going to pay for it. You're doing this pro bono. Dwayne ain't got no money. Dwayne under a rock somewhere, begging God. I ain't heard from Richard either. Anybody heard from Richard Youngblood? Has he been doing any more podcasts, any more videos? I ain't heard from these people. Did Dwayne tell him to cease and desist immediately? What'd he tell him? I'll drop the link if anybody wants to come up and talk about your thoughts on this case. Where do you think it's going? What do you think the outcome will be? Listen, I don't know. Are we all off? Or is this a fluke? Is Dwayne the winner? You know, because somebody gonna spin it and say, "Oh, it's nothing. This is nothing." Oh, him lying on motions. Nah, that's okay. He can do it. It's all right. He'll get a slap on the wrist. Thank you, Erica. What's up, Charmaine? Thank you for putting the color on. I appreciate you. Yeah, you know, is this a slap on the wrist that he'll get, or will he really get sanctioned? This might be it, though, y'all, for Tyrone Blackburn. This one might do it. This one might do it. Because I'm pretty sure that you can still, can you get your license revoked in one state? I don't think you can. If they're revoked, they're revoked. You just can't practice anymore. And I think this warrants a revocation of license, in my opinion. Yeah. Like I said, I ain't with the courts, but I think this may be a reason to revoke his license. Just compound every other thing. And just like, who just said that in that one case? Now, Fat Joe is determined to destroy Tyrone Blackburn. He said he's going to rip him apart. He said that hype man, he's already a joke. That hype man who's suing, but they're focusing in on Tyrone Blackburn. So you run around with Little Rod and do all your braids and trying to look all tough and savvy. Yeah. They done came to the end of the road. Alexa, play. Oh my God. Well, I tell you, everybody, we're gonna see what happens. We have our dates that they have to do certain things. So let's see here. Let me see. Let me bring this up. Hold on. I hate that one. Mari, that you?
Yes, it's me.
That didn't even block anything. EJ's teeth did
I know, right?
Hold on. Jesse, is that you?
Loud,
Yes.
live, and in color.
Live, loud, and in color. So the dates, hold on, y'all. The dates, so just one more time. So Youngblood must answer Jake's complaint by July 11th. So in other words, they struck that other stuff. They threw it out. They're making him answer the way he's supposed to answer by the 11th of June. And then Jake's has a chance to, reply to that by the 18th. But on the 24th, homeboy got to be in that court at 1:30 p.m. over there in Pittsburgh.
When that thing said in courtroom 8-3 or 8B or whatever it said, I said, "Oh, he is sick of him."
Yeah.
He's like, "No, I need you to stand in front of me. I want you to pull every document. Where'd you get it from? I want to see you sweat because you're wasting my time, and I'm sick of it."
May be suspended for a few months. Let me tell you, but if he's suspended, then he cannot represent Youngblood.
Well, I mean, if they're still reviewing all of his stuff, and he might end up getting written up or disbarred or whatever. Anyway, what does he have to lose?
Yeah.
I don't know. I put it like this. I'm just glad. I think it was Jesse who said, "I'm glad I'm not integral." I'm glad I'm dumb. I'm glad I'm not integral.
Insignificant.
Because
we're glad about all that.
Because there would be so much cake on my face right now. Ooh, I'm so glad to be dumb.
What's your thoughts, Jesse? Liquor sucker. Oh, that's funny.
Donald Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He put in those tariffs, and y'all thought y'all was gonna get down with this AI Timu lawyer and these AI Timu dread wigs. Y'all thought y'all really was gonna do y'all big one, but like we the people said, we glad we not integral. We glad we not on your side of the fence.
Right.
I'm glad I'm a slot bucket.
The Pampers for
because it
Go ahead.
And I really want to hear. I'm not going listening to nobody's stuff, but I really want to know how people are going to spin this. There's no way out of this.
There's not.
And I want to know, and I really want to know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Who's going to be listed as these co-conspirators?
Right.
I really want to see. I low key, I think I might take the 4-hour trip.
Listen,
I put it like this: it's not much for me to come up from Tampa. I just looked at the prices.
Yeah, but I may have to fall through on the 24th.
Oh yes, I just have to see how this goes. I just want to see him in action because he avoids the courtroom like the plague.
Yeah, he does because he's not a courtroom person. He's a settlement lawyer.
Yeah, he's
not a horrible one at that, but
a paper pushing AI attorney. The fact that you think you can just play in these judges' faces, make up stuff, have zero regard for the law that you're supposed to be upholding, the standards of the court. You running people over for other cases that why are you running from being served?
Right.
What's the problem? You're an attorney. You're supposed to be accepting service on behalf of your clients. But no, you're over here running people over, telling people to pound sand.
Yeah, what
you don't represent them.
He didn't even want to take the papers for Youngblood. He told them to kick rocks, pound sand. Good luck.
Right. So why are people hiring you?
Right.
And you got to imagine, because I work, for insurance. And especially when I was in auto insurance, you know, those lawyers are really low. Well, they have a tendency to be real low brow people, very rude,
They do not
disrespectful,
want
you
to
know.
lose that money. They will do anything. Yeah.
And it's just like you're going to these, but it's like because you're doing things for pro bono and all of the and settlements and stuff. So I'm like, what is your end game? Like, what was going on?
Yeah.
Especially yesterday, like, what was the purpose of doing that? Just take the paper because they're gonna find you anyways.
Exactly. You're gonna be found. Now TMZ found you. Now everybody knows that you did a Suge Knight on that poor 66-year-old man.
For what? And the reason, and it's like, for what though?
So he didn't want
Did they upgrade?
But you know what it is? It's what he does with this case, kicking the can down the street. As long as I don't get the paper, I don't have to respond. He doesn't want to respond. He doesn't want to go to court. He just wants a settlement. He figured if I don't get served in between time, they'll settle. And I won't have to be served with anything and I won't have to go to court. But it hasn't been working out in his favor like that.
Clearly. And just to start out pro bono, but now it's costing you money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now you're having to pay because it's going to cost him to pay Jake's attorneys for all that work they did on those faux motions.
Because even if Jake's doesn't show up, one person just has to show up for his side and he can get granted. That's what it sounded like to me.
Well,
I don't think all of them have to sound.
It was a little weird to me because it says on this here, it says if Jake's plans to seek attorney's fees in relation to the litigation surrounding the motion to dismiss, Jake's and his counsel must attend the hearing. They're saying that Jake's and his counsel must attend the hearing. If they do not want to seek it, attorney's fees for this particular thing that they're doing for these motions that he fudged, then only Blackburn has to show up, nobody else. So Jake's is going to have to show up in court on the 24th as well if they want attorney's fees according to that.
I personally don't think Jake's is going to be looking for attorney fees from him, considering that you're not gonna get no money. Jake's is just doing this
point. Why give them an out at this point, though? You've come this far by faith. Why give them an out? Give them at every turn. Why give them?
Yeah, that's why I would think that they would at least, because I'm not going to ease up. It's all gas, no brakes.
Because if he eases up on those attorney's fees for the crap that Tyrone Blackburn, these people are going to think they got one up on him. Like they're going to get passes throughout this trial. And
absolutely not. And for me, it's just a slap in the face to the judge, a completely unbiased party who gave you chance after chance after chance. He outlined exactly what he needed to do. He explained to him, first and foremost, I need you to register correctly as representation. Then
even yesterday, his thing wasn't even signed and done correctly. They were questioning the signature on his withdrawal. They didn't even accept the withdrawal. He had to redo it because something on the signature wasn't right.
And it's like the fact that the judge is willing to hold your hand as if this is your first case, because clearly he's never done this before. If the judge is willing to hold your hand and walk you through this step by step, and you return the favor of basically repeating the same offense in every single filing that you filed and putting in fake case law just because whatever assisted you made it sound good. Like you didn't even proofread it. You had typos. Like, ugh.
Well, people are, questioning that. Listen, it's just what I'm reading here. This right here, y'all. This if Jake's this. I'm gonna put it towards the top, right there. It starts right there after Rule H11B. It says, and I understand it. I would think that just the attorneys have to show up, but according to what this, like I said, I would have to, unless you're an attorney in the deal, and you're saying that they don't have to show up. But it said if Jake's plans to seek attorney fees in relation to the litigation, blah blah, Jake's and I would say it would say Jake's or his counsel must attend.
Okay, I think it's the otherwise that threw me off, where it says otherwise all parties in council are welcome to attend. So I think that's why I got thrown off, because I
they're
was like,
saying you're
okay, so
welcome
he's
to attend if all parties can attend, but they're only requiring Blackburn. But if you want attorney's fees, Jakes and his counsel must attend the hearing. It's pretty clear to me. It didn't say Jakes or.
yeah. Either way, go ahead and show up. Just show up.
Yeah. I wouldn't. That's what it says. It says and, not or in
So
lieu
you
of,
mean
or.
you mean to tell me he can't even sign the DocuSign correctly? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm telling you what they said. The signature on there, they questioned the signature and rejected his withdrawal. Yeah, I can tell you what it said. Let me put it.
So
up.
he AI at the DocuSign. That's what he did.
I was like,
yep.
This Negro couldn't even get now. But now I'm not going, because they have reprimanded Jakes' side too and made them resubmit some stuff as well.
Which is why I like this judge, because he's making sure both of them are on top of it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just let big money do whatever they want.
Right.
You guys have to follow the rules too.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I acknowledge that. And I'm like, no, he's really not trying to. I think, like someone said earlier in the chat, he ain't trying to have nothing get out of here with the technicality. He don't want none of that technicality stuff. Let me read you what the court said about his motion. It said errors. Signature on document and filer do not match. Proposed order, which is required for all motions in civil case per law, blah, 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 was not attached. So he didn't attach something. He needs attorney advice for signature requirements, attorney to resubmit the document using the ETRA event with the proposed order as an attachment to the main document. He just, he hasn't been able. What am I doing here? I'm sorry, y'all done threw y'all off the stage. I'm just reading. I'm just threw y'all off the stage. I'm sorry. But he hasn't been able to even get a right paralegal that knows how to, file electronic motions correctly.
That's because it is no paralegal.
I was just about to say, clearly it's a one-man show.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It definitely seems like he's a one-man show. Yeah. Yeah. TDJ say got no drawback spirit, no look back spirit, no drawback. Doesn't Williams say God takes no pleasure in a drawback spirit? And then he went back with Larry. Anyway.
And got a beat down.
That lady said, I apologize to the bishop.
Moving like they don't have any other client. Oh, I know he didn't, Larry, downplay Jake's attorney, said they're moving like they don't have any other client. No. When you are a successful law firm, each client seems like you're only working for them. That sounds like it looks like success to me.
Thank you.
And when you have a high public figure,
come on now.
Hey, that with multi-million-dollar, this and that, and assets, you're going to treat them like they're the only client.
That's correct.
Just because you got to go down to,
we understand that nobody else.
The only lawyer is the bankrupt lawyer, according to the street.
But no, that's
cool.
Cool.
So I just want cool. I think we should do a poll. Is Blackburn going to try to get to Ghana or Dubai with his co-conspirator before the 24th of July?
Yeah, that 24th date, before I book something, I just got a sneaky suspicion.
The poof disappeared.
He may not even show up. He don't have integrity. He don't have any kind of, honesty about him. This guy lies. He has been proven. We have heard 3 different demand letters that he's lied on. 3 different ones. That girl sat on that stage at Diddy they were like, so he didn't do, how did this get in there? She said, I didn't tell him that. That didn't happen. On the stand at the Diddy, she said, I didn't tell him that. And she said, that's why I had to fire him and get another attorney.
Yeah, it's like he did it. He messed up every single client. So it's
Yeah.
not like it's only he messed up Youngblood, although Youngblood's story changed in every single response that he tried to.
He did. Yeah. And
The age
but that tells
changed.
me that he may not have even consulted with Youngblood on certain things. But just like he put him in the car hugging and kissing instead of putting him at the table.
Right, talking about, oh, we didn't say anything defaming. I mean, you called him a big burly man. You
Sure
done.
did. You
I
sure
mean,
did.
it's like every time y'all retyped your story,
It was
it
more
came
and
with
more
more insults.
that Jakes' team had to address because you threw them out there. So they have to address them. Yeah. Yeah. So he still has to come and submit his motion in, which is, we know that there's not going to be any dismissal, but on paperwork, it has to be in courts. So the judge has to make him do it right. And he wants him to do it right so he can compare to say, you see how you lied here? And this is the truth. Which one is the lie? Because you lied.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The judge is going to get him either way.
Y'all notice a scheme set up by Whitehead.
Right, because the way that they are like copy paste, all I see is Whitehead when I look at Tyrone.
Yeah, yeah. Because you know Whitehead did a lot of that. He did that on bankruptcy papers. He did that to get homes, cars. He did a lot of, copy and pasting and lying.
Yeah, it's a lot of greasy lip spirit going on right now.
Look, shining bright.
But we the people want to know, did they upgrade those charges to manslaughter? Because there's no way he's just going to get assault. No.
Who are you talking about for Jakes?
No, Blackburn for running people
or attempted.
over.
I don't know. I don't
like
know.
a bowling ball.
It's going to be interesting to see what that case, what comes out of that, because Suge Knight. Did the guy died with Suge Knight, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but still, I mean, isn't it still like attempted?
That's what I would think. I think it's attempted something.
Yeah, that sounds like manslaughter to me.
Well, let's not throw those words. I'm trying to be a little creative. They won't go into yellow. You didn't say the president's name, so it might go into yellow. I'm trying to. God. It's really weird the way the AI picks up things now.
And I mean, I'm sure the judge for the Jakes case is probably privy to his recent actions, but it's just like, why do you think you're above the law at this point? You can make up your rules, you can lie to the judge, make up fake stuff, you can't get checked on it. So like, you act like him checking you on it wasn't a warning. So you go and you file something else, double, triple, quadruple down on everything.
What the court said, even lied on what the court said. Not
right. The judge is sitting there like, who has said that?
Right. And that's the really like F you in your face. That's really what you did. That's a big F you. Like, I know what y'all said, but I'm going to twist it around and tell you what you said. That's ridiculous. That's horrible.
There's just no way. Yeah, I don't know. I like being on the short bus. Clearly, we're all on the short bus. I like it here.
We get more attention on the short bus so we can learn.
Right. The air circulates a lot better over here. We have a little more clarity in our brain. I like it over here.
That's a weird statement if he said that. They acting like he's their only client. I mean, these people are getting paid.
Shouldn't you want an attorney to treat you that way?
Yeah, they're getting paid a lot of money.
I don't know how many times I gotta say this, Larry. If you don't shut your goddamn mouth, you shut your mouth right now. You hush up. Because why would you even open up your mouth and even say anything about Jake?
If he says that is wild to me. That's crazy.
I think that's been like the reoccurring theme that has just had my mind blown this whole time, is the level of arrogance on that side.
Yeah.
I mean, Youngblood, he just went mute. But everybody else, the arrogance.
Yeah, like this is nothing. I'm gonna win this, and this is just a little bit. No, the scary part about this to me would be how good the attorneys are working. how good they're working. That means they're getting paid a lot of money. And if I got to pay these doggone attorney fees, I'm up the creek. I'm up the creek. Little 75,000 ain't nothing. It's what the attorney fees and all these other stuff that's gonna happen.
Well, they're betting on, going to Ghana and Dubai, not knowing that I'm gonna be the first person to call 1-800 Dubai.
But you know what? On a serious note about that, people are very diabolical. People will, not saying that you are, Jesse. I'm just saying people really will get invested like that and start things in other countries over with some people that could affect them. People don't care nothing about you.
Mm-mm.
People don't care
They
nothing
sure
about
don't.
you. If they don't like you, they'll do whatever they need to do to get you.
And as long as they put the tip off to the right, and that's why when they be doing all this, they don't realize other people have international connections, because all they have to do is drop the tip off at the right person. And because it's like, they'll either, if they need to extradite, they can extradite. Otherwise, they're going to run them up out the country
They
regardless.
just run them up out of the country, or they just wake up unalive. People, I don't trust it. I got to stay where I'm at. Leave me in my little rinky-dink Fresno. I'm going to stay right here, and I'm going to accumulate, and I'm going to travel, and I'm going to live well. How about that?
Because it's all fun and games and key, business, until somebody's money get a little funny. And they gonna be like, our call center ain't been paid in X amount of months. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Jesus on the main line.
You better call him.
But do they believe in
Tell him what
Jesus
you
anymore?
want.
Is Jesus still a thing over there? I don't know.
Spirit on the main line.
Well, one thing he did say that he did believe in the Bible. I think he's making sure that because people are really coming out and they're making a lot of videos. I've seen a couple today. They are really like trying to debunk, especially his recent commentary, fornication, all that crazy stuff. People are like coming out.
All his alphabet soup and words, all his vocabulary dropping stuff. Like, okay, sir.
Mm-hmm.
If I say it convincing enough, then it's right.
But me too. Listen, I know about that. I'm with you. The Bible is a good tool, in my opinion, to a good tool of modeling your life and great. But there's certain things, aspects, and things I think were just put in there as parables. Parables.
Yeah, it's not literal. Like, you can't take stuff literal.
With the Bible, those are the scary people to me. What's up, Miss Candace? Those are scary people to me. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. It's just. When do you just bow out gracefully?
I told you what I would do, y'all, and I'm as serious as a heart attack. If I was Dwayne, I would get my behind up out of this thing real quick and in a hurry. I'd
have been like, excuse me, representation for Mr. Jakes. I got a story to tell.
But the sad part about it, they don't want to listen to Dwayne. They need to get Dwayne to get the co-conspirators. So they gotta
that's
get
the thing. That's what I'm saying. Dwayne better say, I got some intel. I got a text message, an email, or something. Richard has a text mail or a text, an email, or a voicemail.
Dwayne has flipped. We don't know.
Baby, he's so quiet. I hope he flipped.
We don't know.
Yeah, like D-Rock said, I don't think he really can at this point, have any communication with them.
Yeah.
It's too far in. It's too, it didn't have to become this messy, but when you got people willing to do anything for clout,
I'll be like the man begging at the pool of Bethesda.
Put it like this. He might not can talk to Jakes' people, but I sure hope he find.
I would get to Cora. I would get to say.
Okay, because all I know is someone's gonna send that carrier pigeon, and they gonna know that I don't want to go back to prison,
right?
And I will be willing to accidentally drop a letter off.
I really would like to get clarity on that. If he is found liable, does it mess with his probation?
Well, I think so because the dollar amount makes it criminal, right?
I thought it had to be a criminal to be criminal. I think it's just civil. I think. I don't know.
Well, it's so many layers there
Yeah,
because
somebody put it in the
if
comments later.
I
I'm
think
sure.
he ain't really supposed to, have anything like this going on since he's on parole still,
Yeah, yeah.
and the judge might find him, this might be slanderous or whatever you
Mhm.
call it. So it's that's just the messiest stuff. Like, and anybody with any sort of wisdom would have, fact checked and been like, I don't really want somebody coming straight out of prison. Why
Right,
did they
right.
do that?
I know. But you know
Because
what?
Manasseh didn't stick to the script.
Because he didn't stick to the Manasseh bailed on him. That
I
damn
told y'all
Manasseh.
it was a scheme. It was a scheme. Manasseh knew it the whole time. That's right,
Mhm.
Manasseh.
Who did
Well, and the
Manasseh
other
set them
thing
all
that
up? Are you saying Manasseh set them all up?
Oh yeah, he schemed it all together. That's why I've been telling
y'all
y'all
better leave our praise and worship leader alone.
no, I'm team
Oh,
Manasseh now, but
did you
he
say
still
he set them all up?
he set this whole thing up and they all took
Mm,
the bait for it because they're all a pack of idiots.
mm.
If only dream.
That ain't
Ooh,
John Taffer, is it? From
I don't
Bar
know.
Rescue.
I don't know who that was.
that's just so melodic. Oh, but
But you know
because
what?
like my thing would be for young blood. The other thing he has to be worried about is the criminal people he had write those affidavits because he's
Sure.
not supposed to be in contact with them.
Mm,
So he
mm,
does have a whole lot of layers to him possibly going back because those timelines, he shouldn't have been in
yeah.
contact with another tier 3, 2,
Well,
whatever he was.
they were in prison at the time. They're supposed to be in contact or something like that, right?
Well, but I mean, but if you're going out to lunch, it didn't say lunch on the yard or lunch in the whatever.
That's
He
right.
made it seem like it was regular, just we went out to lunch.
Mm,
So it sounded like it was on the outside.
well,
Mm. And we, because sometimes you be like, well, I feel bad because, that's just a messed up situation. But we, the people, don't feel bad at all, actually, because look at what you
no,
did. Look at what
no,
you
I
did
don't feel
multiple
bad at all.
times. You,
Yeah.
and really, honestly, truly, we, the people, blame the judicial system right now
Mm,
because, when somebody does things like that to children
yeah.
multiple times, he should have been in jail for life. He shouldn't have never saw the light of day,
He really shouldn't have.
ever. So,
Right. Especially, it's like, okay, they gave you the pass, but then you get caught with the ankle monitor on. Oh,
Now
no,
that
sir. No,
right there's the
ma'am.
wildest one. That's the wildest thing. And he lived telling his story outside.
yeah, and some people you just can't rehabilitate. It's
Yeah.
they're just bad people, and obviously he's one of them, and that's why y'all can't sit up here on this platform and gaslight me and the rest of us,
Mhm.
saying that he has a right to tell his story. He's
Right.
just nasty and he's a bad person. There, and that's the thing,
They said he changed.
with
He's honest
our
and he changed.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's the problem
Top
with our
5
community,
integral.
especially when they approach, things like that, MOLE, when they
Yeah.
approach that, they always want to make it seem like, oh, something had to happen to
Well, yeah,
that
yeah, he's
person.
blaming it all on Jake's.
And that's not
But his
always the
dad, but
case. It
everything
is
that he said,
sometimes.
but everything he said about what took place in the household, it didn't affect him. He knew stuff happened in his household, but meh, it was okay. But this
Yeah.
big burly man then approached
Big
me in a
burly
car.
kiss, man. He in the rubber ducky in the water. That's what did it for me. I'm sorry, Jesse. We
Mhm.
interrupted
No,
you.
that's my problem because they're always trying to, find an excuse for these bad people,
Yeah.
especially when it comes down to black men. We're not holding black men accountable, and
Mm.
there's always a troop of them. gathering up together, always, and it just makes me sick to my stomach to see this whole thing go down. And then you sit there, because I feel like if Jake's really had an issue with things like that, assaulting people or harassment and things of that nature, if Jake's really, we would have been hearing murmurings 15 years ago.
But the thing about it, I guess there's always murmurings, but is there ever not murmurings about preachers and their sexuality?
But I'm saying when it comes down to, like, in the Eddie Long case,
right?
I always pinpoint back that happened 15 years ago, 2010, 2009, whatever. So I just feel like if that was true, where somebody felt like they were able to get some money for actual harassment or actual, taking advantage of someone, because him being gay, obviously all of y'all is, not everybody, but
like
it's a lot of people that are.
It was presented. There was facts that were presented to Eddie Long.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden, then a settlement comes. Because he saw the facts.
Right.
But
and the thing
there was no facts that were tangible and able to be seen. Now, people say they got facts and they say they got text, but we've never seen them.
Because I would have expected something to have accidentally popped up somewhere by now.
Right.
Somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
How far are we?
Some actual, really solid stuff. Not I heard.
Right. And everyone just saying, oh, I saw it too. Oh, I saw it too.
No, that still doesn't do it for me. Because like I said, at the end of the day, y'all, when you think you have a text message and you go to this person, did you send this to Jesse? That wasn't me. Guess that wasn't my phone. I didn't have that. They must have changed the name and the number. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right. Well, and then just like how when Gigi said all these women were reaching out to her, and she got
they just swiped her Instagrams and her Facebooks.
Stop.
Even her Lash Instagram page. Lash.
Where'd it go?
St. James. Was it a scheme set up by St. James?
You should have unblocked him.
Until you do right by me, Gigi, and unblocked me.
Oh, that was the African.
Well, now she can't unblock you. So
now she can't. See, you see how you don't want to unblock me. You see what happens.
Because I'm just like, because even with her saying she got screenshots, and however it got back to her that her picture was floating around and this, that, and the other, everyone's gonna deny it was them who sent it.
First of all, you're not gonna want, because they can be implicated in it as well by sending it around, not just the first person, but then somebody else saw it. So no one's ever gonna fess up to that. That's never gonna happen.
Yeah, or if they're messaging multiple people, because even Vincent thought that he had sent the message that he didn't send because
he was almost convinced that he did it.
Yeah, he was almost convinced that he sent it, and he was like, "No, he really had to put it together."
Right, yeah. So like I said, people can say that all day long, but these people are gonna flip on you. They do not want to get tangled up in this TD Jakes mess. I wouldn't. I'd be like, who are you? You know me?
Right.
And
you
then
ain't no kin to me.
And then you don't want to be caught up with no Larry Reed and Youngblood either. Nobody wants to be caught up with these low life people. No,
I think that's the big thing is, as soon as Manasseh was like, "I'm out," he was like, "Oh shoot, I gotta find something, somebody, somewhere." And just go for it.
Going anywhere. We were getting 7 days, 2 weeks, 24 hours. Y'all got 48 hours to call me. We got all of that, and nothing ever transpired. So
I talked to the person, one person away. Yeah. Okay, you talked to the one person away from Jake's. Okay.
And then when it didn't come to fruition, they must have got paid. Oh, okay. Now you're accusing the man of doing the payoffs again.
Right. And that's the part why are you still talking?
Daryl been around and having a wonderful birthday. They're just
look, his birthday, he gonna have a whole he got another celebration on the 11th, another celebration on the 18th, and a grand celebration on the 24th.
And the gag of
Baby.
it all is he can drive to it. It's only 2 hours away. That's
A
the gag.
correspondent will be there.
I'm just saying he gonna have a grand old celebration.
It
Oh,
ain't in Atlanta. It ain't in
mhm.
California. It's in Pennsylvania.
Yes, it is. Wow. That's right. He can just tool it on up to the. I would show go. I mean, I want to go, but I have a sneaky suspicion dude is not going to do right. I don't know if
Yeah,
he's gonna show up.
he's definitely grasping at straws because he's gonna try to figure out how to pull he's gonna have some last ditched effort to
Yeah,
try to make something happen where he gets kicked off
yeah, that's what
or
I'm thinking.
something.
Yeah, but see, I think he's still going to have to answer to lying to the court as a officer of the court.
Yes, yeah. I mean, because
He's
I
going to
don't
have to
get
answer.
how you can do that and expect your
Mhm.
license to stay intact.
Yeah, yeah. That
Do
can
we
because that judge mapped it out. And they said they didn't even put down they put down the most egregious one. They didn't even put down all of the lies he told in that motion.
Right.
They put
did
up down the worst ones.
did they do we the people think that he did what he did yesterday on purpose to get out of the case to solidify it?
I think so. I think he tried
Ooh,
to sneak out of it before
ooh.
the judge came and made, but the judge pulled a fast one on. The judge had it he had it all typed up already.
The judge was ready. He
He was
said,
ready. He just was waiting for him. As soon as he filed that mess, and today the judge says, no, 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 no. You go nowhere. You
he
stay
said, I
right
was
there.
just waiting for you.
You stay
He
right there.
was over there praying that them owls
Them owls coming
was
Ooh,
going
swooping.
they was
ooh.
gonna do a Microsoft Word crash, but the
Yeah.
document was on Google Docs, and
Mhm.
that auto save automatically. So
Show do. Show
Mm,
do. But he
It
thought he was
got
going
him.
to slip out of it yesterday really quick before the bomb hit. And it didn't work.
Look, someone must have tipped him off. Maybe the people who sponsored him in PA told him, look, you done pissed the judge off. I done heard
And they probably
you
know who
might
this
want to
judge
try to
is.
run.
They probably know who this judge is personally. This is somebody who said
Yeah,
he had no them attorneys ain't got nothing to do with young blood, okay?
and
right. And they all be going
No.
to they all fight and then go to lunch right afterwards.
Right, they do. They do. They do. And he's an outsider coming in. So they don't care nothing about Blackburn.
Exactly. And even with that, I don't even think because you had briefly brought up if they want to remove themselves from it, they don't have to, because they probably over there sitting there with the judge right now talking about, man, we just
Ain't
here
he a
just to
fool?
right. They over here like, look, I ain't gonna tell you, but I'm gonna tell you.
Right.
well, Jakes, can we get $20 for all this windmilling we've been doing? You can send it to my cash app.
20. Let's get 20,000. Come
Oh,
on.
Now you better
right.
keep
I
it
was
at
about to
20.
say,
He ain't playing. He gonna say you the extortionist next. You
Oh,
better
that's right,
cut it
Jakes. I
out.
don't want none of your money. Go on and
$20.
keep your money. I don't want it.
okay, look, no, Jesse over here sounded like that lady who called back and said, you owe $50K for your Hilton.
Oh, the Nets in here. Ooh, and they called me. They called me.
Right,
Michelle.
Jesse. He said he just needs a little
Uh,
bit. No, we want the 500K.
oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, give you. I said, what she just say? Girl, get off my phone playing with me. Bye, 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 bye.
Right. These people over here violating.
Yeah. I'm not thinking about y'all. Get off my phone. Call me when you got something to talk about. You ain't got nothing to talk about right now. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
so I don't know, y'all. It's Jake's attorney they're like, but I'm so glad that I'm sure they're glad that the judge agreed with everything they talked about, because they wore that boy out in that motion. They were like, this is, and then he said he must have, what they said, he must have bumped his head or he had a fever the night before.
Yes, a fever. Ooh. I was like, not they throwing shade.
Mhm. And then he tried to come back and try to throw some shade. Your shade, Tyrone, it's corny. Nobody cares about your shade. It's corny.
Just
Right.
like
They
them
said we had
dreads.
time.
Right.
Oh, Ooh, those dreads. I don't know. At this
Mhm.
point, he got a personality disorder or something because you can't just be that oblivious to what you're doing.
Right.
Like,
Or that
which
arrogant and
version
that,
of you was typing these documents?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Who did you pay to do that? I mean, did you? Yeah, that's crazy. But the Armand Wiggins, he pretty much clocked him. He just now he was this. I don't need my attorney that sassy and that. I don't either.
Right? Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Right,
Acting like he had a doggone Kojic convention. This is court.
right, yeah. But you know, their turn. Faith and Love said Jake's attorneys are going to assure he will be satisfied. You have to be. You're talking about you're dealing with Jake's. You're dealing with Jake. It's just like we ain't heard. Have we heard anything from Derek over there in Perry?
Oh,
I ain't heard nothing.
oh, he a little quiet too, yeah.
Quiet too. Did he just do a Christian Keys? What went on?
Right. Wait a minute. Right, because Tyler got up there. He got the whole world. Oh,
We always see, what's been presented to us. We saw some text message. These days, text messages don't do nothing for you. They really don't.
And it's about to get worse.
Yeah.
With AI, because you got to prove the valid. How you say it? Validity. God, you got to prove it because AI is about to tear up.
So you could
yeah, but they got that software to check it.
Yeah.
Because even employers are doing that with people's resumes.
And in college, they did that. What is the thing they used to send out papers through to see if we
check it or
plagiarize. Yeah.
Yep, they definitely. It's like, so it's not like the software didn't exist just because AI popped up. Like, no, that's what it is. Look, Daryl, we know you happy. Your birthday is gonna last for a whole month. And even beyond that, you get your reparations for the past 7 years, 8 years, however many years.
Yeah. Thank you, Simply Tasha, for being a member for 3 months. Appreciate you.
Praise God. Oh yeah. Wait, where are we at with the goal? Where are y'all at? Y'all been hitting the like button?
They didn't meet the goal today. I got 3 out of the 10. Maybe I got a little greedy today. I don't know. It's only what, Thursday? We good.
Yeah, and y'all hit the what were the likes at? Y'all hit the thumbs up.
At least hit the thumbs up. They got
that's
over
free.
100. Yeah, that's good. 100 over 100. Got about 120. So that's
a lot of people over there being messy, with that Todd Hall thing going on.
Well, and again, like I said, that Todd Hall thing, we know that woman is crazy, and that is not Todd Hall's wife.
That woman was kooky looky, and
it's the Regina 2.0. Regina,
it
Adams.
really was, and I try to ride for jobs, but I was like,
yeah, I think you have. It says 3 months, but you've been with maybe it starts over when you redo it. I don't know, but I know you've been with me longer. But
has everyone been safe out there with the Regina lady? She ain't popped up at West Angeles.
They are locked down like Fort Knox over there. Don't you worry about that.
Okay, good. Because I was like, oh my.
Call you Petty Pettigrass. There is somebody in the beef sector called Petty Pettigrass. But again, like speaking about that Todd Hall and woman, listen, we all know she wasn't right. And I don't want to criticize anybody, reporter you want to report. But I think this TD Jake stuff and other stories, it is going to shape how we present stories. We know good and well that woman wasn't his wife, and he probably never even had any association with that woman. People marry you online over the internet by watching you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's like the one thing that I can say in terms of like the Jake's case and that kind of stuff is I hope it does bring back some integrity to reporting on these stories, and it does help advocate for real victims of certain things. But people got to be careful. It's like after the shutdown, those mental illnesses skyrocketed, and people have not been the same.
They was already there. They just felt more. They're coming out public.
They came out a little bit more.
It heightened it. Like it's like everything got heightened, and people are just like, "Oh, I can say this publicly. I'm gonna say it." No, baby, don't say that. They're gonna have you tied up with your arms around each other in a room. You better be quiet.
You sure are. But even with that, it's like we understand that goes on. It's just how we report it. We're just going to have to be a little bit more cautious, because first of all, there's no need to piss off all the preachers and prophets. We don't need to piss them all off if they're not really doing nothing. They all got a little something going on probably, but I think they do enough realness for us not to put anything on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I had said this before. My mom, she had, I guess, like an acquaintance at church, and Donnie McClurkin had came to our church for our men's day back in like 08 or 09, something like that, a long time ago. And this woman gonna tell my mama, God told me that Donnie McClurkin gonna be my husband.
Well, we all know that's off.
We fall down.
We all know that's off.
And bump your head. They bump their head real hard. But and I mean, it's sad because my goddad, like we had people in our church who just fawned after him just because he was the pastor, and we were in a little town. So it's not even like, it's just for whatever reason.
They just migrate to it. And when I told the story when I used to attend, Veron Ash's church, a woman came up to me, just because we in a prophetic atmosphere, that don't mean nothing, honey. I am not your husband.
Okay.
Told me that mess. I'm not. Oh, all right, baby.
Whatever spirit spoke to you is not the spirit I speak to.
I told Veron, I remember that time, whatever I said, she told me, he says, you stay away from her. Veron. You stay away from her. You stay away from her.
No, but I mean, it is an imbalance of men to women ratio in the church. And some women are willing to go through hoops.
Yeah, they don't care.
It's a lot of, y'all thought Nikki Parker from the Parkers was a fake character. It's a lot of these women out there.
A lot of Nikki Parkers out there.
Professor Ogilvy, to be exact.
Professor Ogilvy.
Yeah. And it's like whoever they talk to, whoever they be with, I'm still the main one.
Oh yes.
That's what they think in their mind.
Like, oh no. He just had a moment of a lapse in judgment. I'm his main. I will always be his main. He been with his main for 17 years. They got a whole family.
And I just showed you guys just a recent video of Regina, like last week, where she said that Bishop Noel Jones signed the papers.
And I didn't even know I was married.
Yeah, huh? I didn't even know I was married. He had signed the papers, and she still hates Loretta. She just made another video the other day and she said something else that was really off. And I said, this woman is, and like I said, I mean, it was important. We got to know who we labor amongst, as the Bible say. So West Angeles need to be aware, and a lot of them didn't know she was over. The ones that didn't know that she was over there. I said, y'all just need to be a little bit careful. But just like, all these people are going to have experiences like Mike, what's the name? Todd? What's the name? Prophet Todd Hall.
Todd Hall.
They all run together.
Right. Well, and I mean, and even with the Regina lady, we got to stop turning everything over to God. Press charges, get that person medicated, and, do what you got to do. Like, everything can't be handled with just prayer and the scripture. If people are chemically off, God made SSRIs and all those different things to help those with these issues. So like, we need to stop giving a pass to these crazy people.
Yeah. And just start, being aware. And that's the other day, Regina said she had a doctorate or something in something science. I'm like, girl, me too, girl. Me too.
And Larry went to law school. Just like Larry went to law school.
That was that same Dollar General
That's
that Larry Reed got his certificate from.
Larry is
Same
gonna come
one.
after. He gonna send Kendall after. You know, Kendall blocked me. Y'all know that?
What can not
Yeah, Kendall
Kindle?
blocked me. I don't know.
I'm ready for Larry. I'll give him part 2. I already gave him part 1 back last year. He don't want
But
it
you
with
know, at this
me.
point, it's just a matter of sitting back and just observing. That's
Mhm.
all. At this point, it's just sitting back and observe because we can listen. We can listen. We've been listening for a while now. So, but things are moving in a way where they're a little slow because people are trying to throw off the scent. But we got some people like the Jake's team that they own it. They nothing can sway them. They are on it.
Take note. Take
Yeah.
note, people.
Mhm.
And I mean, I don't know how it would have gone. You know, we can't say how it would have gone in any other venue, but this PA judge, he's on
Yeah.
it.
He's on it. Yeah. And I think he's fully aware now, if he wasn't, of who this TD Jakes character is.
Oh, for sure. Because
He's
he
fully
probably had
aware.
to go. He said, "Hold on, let me go watch that video real quick."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the thing about it, and I think that's what makes him a little bit more making sure that he's not being biased in any way. Even making sure that he go back and respond correctly. He
Yep,
wants
he is. He has
Blackburn to
been
respond
thorough.
correctly. Yeah.
So do we the people think that not Blackburn? What's the one that's over there in Philadelphia? What's the one that went to jail?
Youngblood.
Yeah,
Youngblood.
One Blood. So do we the people think Young Blood gonna sue Larry Reed for conspiracy and carrying on for setting up this scheme?
Well, you know what the Bible say? They start eating each other up, or what the Bible say about that? Something they just start tearing each.
About going back to your own vomit? Is that what
Well,
what you talking
something
about?
about they started fighting each other. Or something there was something the story like that in the Bible. But listen, Youngblood don't need to sue nobody because Youngblood made the horrible decision to even go on that program and say what he said.
He's not owed anything, in my
He's
opinion.
not
In
owed
any
a
way.
thing. He's not
Mm-mm.
owed a thing. Larry don't need to sue him, and he don't need to sue Larry. There's
Yeah,
enough
he's
suing
done
going.
more damage, and he's
Mm,
just like, if I was a victim of his, and I would have to have seen these headlines.
yeah.
He's just done more damage. Nothing is owed to him. The judicial system gave him enough breaks.
Yep. Yep.
Don't sue nobody. Nothing is owed to him.
I think by him even being
Yeah,
out, that was like God showing you so much grace, even though you've been through what you've been through. I mean, you've done what you've done, but maybe God just saw your brokenness when you, as a kid, growing up in the home that you grew up in, not what Jake's did. That came later. But in the
yeah,
home, maybe God said, okay, maybe I need to he went through this. I'm going to give him a little grace, even though he's a pedo, even though he's convicted a few times.
He
But
will.
I'm
yeah.
going to let you out. But after he lets you out and show you grace, you go and do this bull.
Right. It's like he couldn't resist the temptation of a payday.
No, he
It's
has to.
like
Yeah,
he
yeah,
he cannot resist the temptation. And
yeah.
every time he is tested, he
He failed.
just it's like, where is the rehabilitation? Just because you speak good and you
Right.
might be in some
I
people's
said that in the
top five
beginning.
of
I said
most integrals.
he knows how to speak. He knows what to say, and that could be one of the most dangerous people when you have
Yep.
a convicted criminal who
Yep.
knows how to speak. That means that's how they got into the situation that they're in. That mouth,
Mm-hmm.
because they knew
And
how to
that's the scary
manipulate
part
people.
about it. You're
Yeah,
eloquent, the
yeah, yeah,
tone, everything is like you study to be manipulative
and
at that
that
point.
makes someone sit back and say how honest you are because you know how to deliver the bull very
Right.
eloquently. That's crazy to me.
It's sickening. And I
Yeah.
think that's the part that frustrates me, is just like the amount of manipulation that is floating around, the arrogance, and
Mhm,
just
mhm.
the lack of concern for the real victims out there.
Yeah, yeah. And still trying
Mm-mm.
to say, well, he wanted to tell him story. Where are his victims? Have they been able to tell their story?
And just the way he glosses over stuff. And then just like a little situation happened while I was out on.
And Jake's attorneys made sure in their first filing that they mapped that thing out for us.
Made it plain. They want you to make it plain.
He glossed over a lot in that little interview. You know, I had a little situation. Yeah, I got it. You know, I was bad. Oh no, they said this is what he did. Yeah.
I mean, it was just like everything was so fuzzy. Couldn't get no ages, no dates, no nothing. But every detail down to the bubbles.
Information on them kids, them boys he adopted. We couldn't get no information on nothing.
But what he did know is that he was in the bubble bath.
He was in a bubble bath.
He remembered that. But you can't remember what you did to your poor victims, and now you over here trying to tell them I did this because so and so did. No, that's a slap in the face. Go to hell.
Going back to eat the. Thank you, Tom. I knew somebody was going to bring it up. Jeremiah, not going back to eat the flesh of your enemy, not literally. We know what you're talking about. That's
there
what
you
I'm
go.
talking about right there, Jeremiah.
Oh no, they doing it literally. They doing it.
That's what I'm telling you. Going back, you know, you got no, y'all leave it alone. Y'all both crook. Leave it alone. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the only thing they're gonna be able to eat once Jace gets through with them.
Ooh, Jace is coming for blood. For blood. I hope all of this investment and everything really does well, because I think there's going to be a payout that Jake's will be expecting if it goes the way Jake's wants it to go. Yeah. And the more they're having to work, even on these motions, the more they're having to work. Remember when we were talking about Jives's case, and then they were talking about, like, there was a portion of the motions that he had to go back and talk about this that was filed, and there was
it's like they quite literally, as soon as they click open, that's the clock in button every second, and it goes straight and it's automated. They pretty much click a button and it fills out the spreadsheet, and it says, okay, I finished this task for today, boop, and then it closes it out on the spreadsheet. So yeah, every phone call, which client, boop, clocked in. Okay, how can I help you?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a new docket. Okay, boop, I'm logging it.
And after I recall in that Felton case, whatever they submitted, the judge approved. Whatever amount that they submitted as the attorney's fees, the judge, he didn't come back and cut them down. He approved.
Exactly. Yeah, because it really does take time. And then, you know, as Marcella said, with Reading Rainbow, they had 100-page documents to go through.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many days you think it took to dissect those pictures?
That is the craziest statement. They act like that Jake's is they only, and you know what? If it is, they still getting paid a lot of money. Oh,
I want my attorney. If I ever need an attorney for a situation, I'm gonna need to be their own. Like, I need them to act like I'm their only client. That's the kind of treatment I would want.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want a mill.
You know who else got some very, very, very good attorneys? Is that Lovey.
Oh, baby.
And not too many days hence. Let me tell you, he got some very good attorneys over there in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, I try. Look, I still need to get my boots on the ground and go visit EJ before he got to go home.
Oh, because Ice gonna be outside.
That's what I'm saying. I need to go.
And I might be the one to call them and let them know you need to be up here.
We got some hot cat on the line here.
I just need to go give him. I just needed to go deliver him a word from the Lord. EJ, the Lord told me to tell you to pack hastily.
Didn't he say he's starting his new? Are they going back to church? Because he hadn't been to church, right?
He had just been doing online, he had only at one location or something. It was something I don't remember.
Yeah, it was something that he said. Now he's going back in. I got to investigate that too. But really, at this point, I'm ready for them to name co-conspirators too, because at least we know we're moving ahead. Because we still trying to get these motions together. It's getting on my nerves now.
Because we ain't in trial yet.
No.
Oh my God. How long has this been?
But listen here, the judge.
November.
Somebody asked me again about the 11th. Let me just tell y'all again. So they have to. Youngblood has to. Let me see. The reply. He has to reply to the original memorandum of law in further support of defendant Youngblood's motion to dismiss. So he has to reply to that again because they struck. They took away. That was stricken from the record. Yeah, everything that he tried to do for that. So he has to do it by the 11th of July. And then Jakes has the opportunity to reply to that by the 18th. So the judge is not letting it linger a lot by the 18th because he wants all that done. See, on the 24th is where he's going to lower the boom.
Yes.
On the 24th at the hearing to show cause of why you disrespected the court and you lied over and over and over again.
And you can't show up by Zoom. Be in this courtroom.
You gotta be there. Yep.
And there's no turnaround. There's no going back. There's no dismissal. Where's the dismissal?
Oh, this is stupid. This is gonna be dismissed.
This is gonna be thrown out.
They just gonna pay. They just gonna pay. There's a mediation. Mm-hmm. There's nothing to mediate when it's a lie.
There's nothing to mediate. Yeah, and the thing about it, they can pick apart that demand letter, and it right there is the proof that there was a whole bunch of lies going on. And you lie about one thing, you must be. Some people say you must be lying about it all.
Yeah.
You can't put on there that he's underage, and you know good and well that Youngblood was not underage at that time. He is alleging all this. Mm-hmm. You just can't do it. Mm-hmm.
It was two big burly men, to be exact.
Too big, right?
Not just one.
Look, they gonna go from the car. They done made it from the living room to the kitchen to the bathtub to the car. Now they gonna be on a PJ.
Right.
They're gonna be
no, not in the Jake's case. I don't.
They about to. I don't know. I just hope that Blackburn can at least have a little bit of humility to at least do his own research for once. Because the judge, but then again, he don't even want to defend it no more. So he doesn't.
He wants out of it. He doesn't want anything to do with this case. But unfortunately, you wrapped yourself and you tied yourself and you tangled yourself all up in it because of your zealousness for clout.
How does it feel to be a clout chasing attorney?
Yeah. Come on, Arba.
Arba had me weak.
This is what clout chasing attorneys get. You get all the smoke from the other attorneys. This is what happens. So unfortunately, you got to walk this walk, Blackburn. You got to walk it. I'm sorry. You can't go nowhere else.
Not let off the hook.
Now, call JG Wentworth. 877 cash now.
877 cash now.
Gotta take it out. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Well, I am gonna hop off of here and get back in the chat. But
right,
yeah, y'all have a good one. It was good to be back up here chatting with y'all.
Have a good one. Thank you. Yeah, Jesse. So that's it. I just wanted to come out and present it and see what happens now. But listen, it's going to be interesting. I can't wait. Until the 24th.
Now I got a question. If the lady from Virginia with the nice car comes to your Instagram inbox and says,
I'm gonna say, listen here, lady, gone somewhere.
You ain't gonna let her do the Regina Adams on you?
No, I don't want to. No, I wouldn't put her. I wouldn't put her on my show. No. I'm just tired of, I just like that guy with the adult star and all that. It's like he's making his runs and running around the internet.
And what's going on with that?
Now I guess they went to his house because they found he has a whole rap sheet of a lot of, when you start messing with these preachers, they will go for blood because now you're messing with their money. it's like you're messing with the mob. He has a whole rap sheet stealing and dissing and doing all this other stuff. And so it's all come to light. And it's the police found themselves at his house the other day.
Who said?
And you forget that these preachers, they know people in the city. It's like with Jake. You complain about Jake's, you talking about, well, they paid him off, or well, you knew he had these connections before you poked this bear. You poke the bear and his connections activate. So regardless of you think how nasty this Matthews guy is or whatever, but they gonna still activate because they protect each other.
God, that's crazy.
He ain't gonna let go until the man is out of the pulpit. That is not his. That is not his plight. That is not it.
Now, I can't stand down low men. I can't stand them.
Right.
But
right.
I like you had said the other night. It was like, because at first I was like, okay, but then I'm listening to this whole ordeal, because, and I'm just like, eventually I turned that mess off because I was like, this is just like you said, I turned it off after a while because it was like, this is just a young kid because you want,
I was hearing a lot of young, immature kind of churchy, messy, churchy kind of that age talk that I knew. I'm like, oh no. Eventually he'll see his way and know that the way he's going. Even Sam Franklin, his pastor, told him to leave it alone, and he's not. He's saying God has told him, no, God has not told you to destroy your family. And come to find out, I guess it was said that the wife tried to unalive herself last night. It's a lot going on. And just for that fact, you take your hands off of it. God has not put us in a place where we're here to destroy families, regardless of what has happened to you. There should have been a conversation with him, and he should have been. And even if you figured out who he was, you talk to him, maybe talk to, a leadership in the church and say, listen, I'm trying to expose, but this nigga's nasty and blah, blah. There's ways to do it.
Yeah, because now she's embarrassed. And
now you're talking about, they're PC of F. They PC of F. So you're talking about apostolic people who, ain't nobody saved but us, Jesse.
Yeah.
Wow. You're the first lady running around here, and now this comes out. Now he's lying and saying he's never met with the guy. Now I don't believe that, but
but it was a lot of holes in that story.
Yeah, and usually there are holes because people put a little extra, they don't say it all, and then they tell all the other persons, but they don't tell them. And what I was listening to, I was like, well, it seems like the money ran out or ran dry because he would say instances where he would just call him up and be like, I need this. And the guy would drop off money and it wouldn't even be anything in, no exchange, Right. So it seemed to me that the guy was trying, the bishop, if it's all any true, that he was trying to satisfy the guy. But you don't understand. It's just like, if you do this demand letter and things like that, these people don't get satisfied. When the money is spent, they want more.
Yeah. And this a whole new generation. They don't have no cool. These ain't the old hoes from back in the day. These are some new kids, and they're down in the gutter, and they think they know everything. That's why I don't fool up.
Nothing. And don't put that Jesus with them. Don't be church one, and that really flips it.
Yeah, because they'll pick out any verse and. But that boy, he like the loophole that I was like, because he was saying his dad was a bishop in the city of Nashville and all this and that. And from what I know, Nashville is, it's not a big city. It's actually smaller than Detroit. And it's not all black. So, all the black people probably are.
Yeah, Nashville, you're talking about the gospel music, and we ain't talking about the black gospel. That's a lot of that. Country, Western, white, yeah.
Right. It's all the same kind of, world. So, And I was just like, okay, well, your father was a big bishop, and then you said that you never knew that that guy was a pastor, a big pastor in town, but you said that he had took over after your dad died. I
Well,
was just
I
like,
don't think that was a correlation. I don't think he took over his dad's old church. I didn't hear
no,
that.
but he was just. I'm just saying, like when
Oh,
you
okay.
in the when you are in the church world, like even here in Detroit.
You
We
know,
kind of
yeah,
know the big names in
right, right,
town
right,
with
right,
the
right,
faces and stuff. So that just
right.
didn't sit right with me. And then as the conversation went on, I was like, I mean, I could see that they probably had relations, but do I think he's being all the way 100% factual about things? I don't know.
What really annoys me when that kind of stuff happens is all of a sudden they become a Bible scholar and they start quoting all these scriptures and start, related to the other person, and they ought to be more held into a higher esteem. Yeah, we understand that, but where is your, just
Right.
because you want to say you're an adult star, so that puts you in a different bubble than this bishop.
Uh-huh.
No, that puts you even in a where of you ought to have more coot and know how to do, and your
Right.
pastor was a your father was a pastor. So it was a lot of that was being thrown, and I wasn't justifying what the bishop did, even if that happened, But
And
I was
then
just
what the bishop was saying, he was like, "You can't lay hands on me." I'm like, I don't care if
said,
you
yeah,
gay, straight, bi, whatever. You can't lay hands on me either. I agree with him. I was
no, I
like,
know I do, but see,
I
that's a
was wait.
portion. That's a portion that has to be talked about as well. These preachers who are sitting in the pulpit, and Yvette Flunder tells it, can
Mm-hmm.
describe it so eloquently. These preachers have been sitting in the pulpits, and they're damning gays, and they're talking. You don't want you to do that. Now they want to pimp you out for the singing and the music and the different things,
But
but you're demonized. You can't be laying your hands on me. So he was doing a lot of that talk.
But it was, to me, I don't know. Maybe I'm not even trying to be a contrarian. I'm just trying to get down to the nitty gritty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I was waiting on him to actually say anti-gay rhetoric,
Mm-hmm.
like just come out and say something towards, like, you being a whore or something like that.
And
And
maybe he has in the past. Maybe that particular sermon he didn't. I don't know if he. But
but
generally,
he said that was his first sermon. It was just stuff like that my
no.
mind, that's where I was just like, I was like, something about this is off. That triggered you that bad about him saying you laying hands, that you went and did all of this.
It's. I think there's some other things that need to be worked out, Jesse. There's some other things going on there. There's some, and my thing, Sam Franklin is one of the most liberated preachers. Like she said, she's a heterosexual woman who comes out of Love Center, Oakland. In Love
Mm-hmm.
Center, Oakland, people like to say, it's a gay. It wasn't a gay church. Love Center was not a gay church. Love Center was
No.
just a warming and welcoming church. They didn't,
Mm-hmm.
you had people like Sylvester who were members of the church. Sylvester
Right.
was, had his funeral at Love Center, but people like Sylvester were not welcome in the regular traditional church. And
Mm-hmm.
Walter said, listen, y'all using these people in your churches, but you don't appreciate them. So
Yeah.
he said, I'm going to create a ministry where they can be loved and appreciated and not used and pimped out for their gift.
Right.
So that's what Love Center was. So San has now Love Center over there in Nashville. So she's very open. But if you the way he was talking isn't what Sam Franklin teaches.
Yeah. Yeah. And oh, this is
Yeah.
so this is hard to get into, but it's just like, if y'all would realize how hard it is being a black person that lives an alternative lifestyle openly, where you can't hide it. If y'all
Mm-hmm.
realize how hard that is in itself, just waking up, getting out of bed,
You mean
walking out the
even outside
door.
of the church? They ain't got not even dealing with the
It
church,
ain't
right?
it
Yeah.
ain't even the church. It's just
Right.
like waking up and you always feel this sense of, there's doom on the back end. You're hyper aware of everything because you never
Yeah.
know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, so having places like that, and I saw, you know, I'm not really familiar with Sam Franklin or anything. I saw her on that live that day,
You
and
know
I
the
was just
song
like,
she
oh,
sings on Love on the he came just in the nick of time, my sin sick soul out of
she sung on
control.
Love Center albums.
That was her singing.
She looks so young.
I know, I know.
She looks really, really young.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She was
But
with Walton them for years. She was one of the main singers over there. That's why I've never been under her ministry, but I know Walter and I know what what he stood for, and I have listened to Sam preach and stuff. So she's not one of those. She is one of those welcoming. And he wanted to. Homeboy, the adult entertainer guy, is so hooked on sin. And I don't think he has came to grips with who he is in Christ.
and you're not going to know that. Well, first of all, he's not. I'm gonna just keep it a bean. He ain't saved. You know,
Well, I think he believes he's not.
yeah, and it's like, you know,
But I'm not
he
going to say
without
he's not.
sin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say he's not saved. I think people don't understand where their salvation. Like I said, I grew up in the apostolic church and I didn't quite understand salvation until I was 25.
right.
I didn't understand salvation and he's 25.
And that's when your brain actually develops, is at age 25. And even past that, it's things between the age of 25 and 31 that I didn't know about myself, or I didn't know about just life in general until life humbled me, and all, you know, different things have happened
Right.
where I have a different way of thinking after age 30. So
Right.
he's still not mature enough to, I don't know.
Well, I
I
think
feel
there
like,
is a level of maturity that is not there, and it's not a slight at him. It's just like I said, I was in church all my life, and I just believed what the church told me. I didn't study like I really
right,
could study. So at 25, and I'm telling you, it's that age 25, 30, where you really start coming into who you are, and it has
exactly.
absolutely nothing to do with the sexuality. It's just a
Mhm.
matter of who you are and who God wants you to be. I mean, if you say, see over there, they said her gays are waiting to be delivered. Listen here, there's some who can wait on them. Do what you need to do. But all thy waiting, get an understanding.
If you knew what I knew, I would be delivered too.
These people, the sad part about it, some of these people will go to the grave still wanting to be delivered, Jesse. And I think that's what we're looking at when we think about people like Donnie McClurkin. And I know a lot of people talk about Donnie, but it's like what's kind of been thrown in our face when we looked at that documentary that he did on TV One, and he talked about how he'll never find love. And he just, because he's not satisfied with who he is. He's waiting to be delivered. He said he's delivered. But if you have true deliverance, you will know that you're who you are. God knows who you are, and you are worthy of love.
Yeah.
Genuine love. You're worthy of it. And I think a lot of, and sometimes, as we have seen in the past, a lot of adult people, a lot of our OnlyFans, a lot of our ex-workers, some of them will tell you they don't feel love. They just dirty. This is what they do because they don't really appreciate themselves. This is, and sometimes it's kind of I'm damaging myself because I'm pissed off at God. I'm pissed off at my family. I'm pissed off at myself. So there's a lot that's going on. Very rare. I think there's very rare instances where you find some ex-workers that just really do it because they love it. I don't know about that.
They do it for either the money or for, self-deprecation, or for to feel loved, in the moment.
To feel love, a momentary love.
And that's why drugs is so prevalent in that world, because you have to numb all of that.
Their mind off of it, so they need something to alter them, something to while they're doing these acts. They need, just like he was talking about. He was high as a kite, And that's another thing, like, okay.
Yeah.
It was just so much. It was just so much. And I just wouldn't want to. But Larry was trying to, tell him some stuff. But I don't think
he was over there.
Yeah. And he was trying to tell him some stuff. And now he done denounced Jives now.
That's what I saw in the comment section. I didn't want to say nothing.
He done said Jives, didn't ask him. You see this pattern we seeing here?
It's a scheme set up by Todd Hall.
But now you went over there, you could diary them out and all this other stuff. Listen, don't think you're going on these platforms just to tell your story. Dwayne didn't do it, and he didn't do it, the ex-worker. You're going on these platforms to build up the platform of the content creator.
And I wondered if, CashApps had anything to do with the putting down of certain child. These people.
He was over there with William as well. Yeah.
I saw him over there with Wig. But I didn't know about, because Larry, I got him blocked, so I don't see him.
He wasn't on his, he was on someone else's. But the thing about it, he was trying to tell him. He was trying to, but he, and Larry's mind in regards to religion and Christianity is totally different. It definitely ain't. The boy ain't built for that kind of stuff. That's way above his level of understanding. He's not even but I don't think he's even at the beginning part of salvation. I mean,
he's not, because he's still at that point of how do I say this? He's still at that point of I gotta seek revenge.
Yeah, it's a revenge thing. Yeah, and it's avenging for all the DL bishops and pastors.
Exactly.
He's in it for everybody. And you know what? God has not put us give us platforms to be the avenger.
No.
For all the people who are no.
And that, I want to say like 3 years ago in my life, so I would have been 28. I was at that point where I was like, I was in my revenge era. I was going after everybody. I was bitter. I was so horrible. But and that ended up damaging me at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, who gets the most damage? You.
Yeah, and you're not being led by the Holy Spirit when you're living your life always trying to be negative or trying to get back at people that did bad things to you. It's time to clean up that stuff that's inside of you so you don't let stuff like that happen no more.
And to me, you're right. But to me, with him, the ex-worker, is like he wants to get Matthews and to, for things that maybe he's gone through his life. Matthew's paying the day for everything else that I've been through.
I mean, you'll have a target. In mind, but sometimes it gets just to the point.
You had a target, huh?
I had a target too, but but it's just like you then it turns into you're being nasty with everybody. I had a friend at work tell me, Jesse, I knew something was going on with you because you changed. You didn't act like that when I first met you. You know what I'm saying? So but it'll change your whole atmosphere and it make you seem like you crazy because you're not, like I said, you're not being led by the Holy Spirit. You being led by the devil himself. If we keep it G,
you are. You're being used by the devil and his imps, and people don't think that's right. But God is nowhere in revenge and exposure. In my opinion,
not when it comes down to you trying to dehumanize one specific person and it's becoming it's just like you just getting down to the nitty-gritty. There's no reason why that should have been you doing a 2-hour live on Bigo and then you turn around and go on this platform, then you go on that platform, then you go.
It's been a whole tour, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, there's certain things that I think come to light and everybody's this is the year of exposure. I mean, people say that every year. But I mean, things come out.
Child.
Things definitely come out. And
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
it's a
and
year of exposure over there in Pennsylvania at that courtroom.
oh, it definitely is. It definitely is, because sometimes you nag and you push and you lie and you create stories so long that it has to be busted out.
J-Rock, don't become a young blood. That's what we
Don't
the people
become
gotta
that.
say.
Don't
Because
become that.
this is what revenge looks like in the
Yeah.
long run. When you do not heal and you don't look for that real salvation and you think that you're the master of other people's destinies,
Yeah.
this is what your life end up looking like.
Yeah. And God has not put us on a planet to destroy lives and to have somebody thinking about unaliving themselves because
Right.
of what you have, and you continue to to just push and push and push without, okay, it's like the man is saying he didn't, you saying he does, and then you talk about your videos. You put a video out, now you're going to go to another level where you're going to be locked up somewhere.
And that's what's going to happen. He's going to either be locked up in jail or he's going to end up in somebody's mental institution.
Yeah.
With that type of behavior, because
And according to what has been presented now, he has a whole long rap sheet. And he had some dealings with Shamar.
yeah.
You know, Crooked Shamar. He had some dealings
And
with
somebody
him.
was saying something about that up in
Yeah,
that
like they
chat.
jumped somebody because somebody stole something from Shamar, and they jumped him, and that was so. You know, when something, and everybody always got a story. They'll tell you a story of what they say happened.
Yes, they will.
But my thing is, you're opening up yourself for a lot of these other things in your past to come up and to possibly put you behind bars.
And then people, now you're known as the boy that, cried wolf, or the boy that, exposed people with the sketchy past.
Do I want a friend that will expose everything on everybody? That means they'll do it on me too. I can't trust you. Not saying that we should all live, there's just certain things. If I wear a brown sock and a white sock and I don't want people to know about it, because I got some brown sock, white sock fetish that turns me on, and my friend why would I just want them to go out and tell everybody? Right. So it's like, who's going to trust somebody who's just ready to just expose, all in the name of Jesus? Jesus ain't got nothing to do with that.
And
you back.
I mean, I done things with men that was on the low and stuff like that. Every man wants a Jesse, but I done did stuff.
But it's like, even if you knew who they were, even if they were somebody in the church, I mean, just because they were of stature or whatever, you get in your feelings and you just expose now.
Well, I mean, I could have easily, they wasn't even in the church. It would have been worse because they in the world and, stuff like that. So I could have, exposed people. But what was I going to gain? Again, that's that young mindset, because what are you going to gain when you do stuff like that? And it's like, it really ain't none of your business at the end of the day, because it's not, even like in the GG situations or anybody else, it's like, well, at least y'all was like building relationship and rapport with each other. This sounds like these were sex transactions.
That's all they were. They were just transactional. Purely
whether it was paid or not. Yeah.
What I don't like about the whole situation, if it's true, is the unprotected X happening, and then you're going back to your wife. If that's the case, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible if that's the case.
That's why I want all the ladies, if whatever, y'all need to make sure y'all get these checkups, because and possibly get on PrEP, because it is wild out here, and it might get worse considering what's going on with cutting funding from Africa. So y'all might.
Again, with that, y'all, and to be real, we are living in a world now where we can be a little bit more extrally free. We have more things, we just had gay and bi, generally. And then they threw in transsexual.
Yeah,
Yeah, then it
transsexual.
wasn't transgender at the time. But now we have pansexual, we have fluid, we have asexual.
Queer, yeah.
We have all these things that are freeing up people sexually. You know, everybody's getting free. So that means that some people are not really protecting themselves like they should. So it has nothing to do with, you know, a heterosexual stuff. Because the woman evangelist first lady thought she was in a heterosexual something too. But let the boy tell it, her husband was you know,
I don't know,
he wanted
but
15 minutes on his back and 15 minutes from the back.
yeah, I mean, I just unless the guy, to me, this is my thought on it. It's like unless the guy personally done something to you,
right,
where it was like, you know, was something detrimental to your livelihood.
That I
It
need
was
to straighten that. I'm gonna get you before you get me because you're about to destroy me, or you're about to do something to me, or you threatened me, or you. Yeah, I can
right.
understand that. You know?
But that like exposing just because you know you think you the
Because you've seen him
Christian
on TV
martyr.
preaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that
Mm-mm.
sounds like the Jimmy Swagger. She said, didn't she see? She said she saw him on TV preaching. But then she says she knew him. Then she knew him. Like, I don't know if she says she saw him before or the first time she knew who he was and she didn't say nothing. I think that's what she said. I think.
Mm.
But then she started to know she knew who he was, but continued. She continued to do it.
Yeah.
So
And some yeah, I don't know. Just pray for all these people and y'all
I
stay
wish
off
the boy
these
would get
YouTube
off of his
platforms.
tour and go somewhere and sit down and get some counseling. That's what I really hope he would do. Also, if it's true about the pastor, you know, and the thing about it, and you saying I didn't do it, no, 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 no. And then the boy says he has a video of him walking into the Airbnb. You see what was going on? This guy probably pillar to post. He was in Airbnbs. He was, you know, he said he hadn't had a real job since he was 19 and now he's 25. You know, there were so many red flags. You, Bishop, you got to have a little bit more
Yeah.
discerning. When you're going to do wrong, what they say, do wrong right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You go get somebody who ain't got nothing to lose.
Yeah, you ask some questions.
You gotta ask some questions. Who are you? You know, we'll take a name and go to social media now, Jesse.
That's what he allegedly did.
Well,
He went
after the
to
fact, though, that was after. That was, I'm talking about, you know, these pastors, they I don't know. Oh, it's crazy.
well, no, I'm talking about allegedly he had saw an old dude on one of the sites, the fans, and then he typed him up on the.
Oh, go ahead.
He had found him on, you know, the Grinder Jack. So,
but I think he said he was using another name, so he didn't know who he was. It was a lot of parts in there. I really wasn't following everything. Like I said, I had turned it off because I got kind of annoyed with it all. But it was something the bishop was using the name by Ryan or something like that. I don't know. It was something weird. But
I don't know. I've been in church all my life. I know a church person when I see one.
Me too.
You can be walking down the street. I know, and they know. They generally they can sniff me out. They've sniffed me out a lot. So,
well, you know how that is.
They know each other.
When you're not trying to butch up and do that kind of thing, and you're kind of obvious. I mean, that's you're the magnet. You're the magnet. You ain't gotta work hard.
Well, no, I'm talking about like, you know, not going to church or nothing. I'm just sitting on an app, minding my own business. It's
you can pick up who the church boys are.
No, they pick up on me.
Oh, they pick up on you.
They definitely pick up on me because I want to say like maybe 80% have been church. Church where they used to go to church.
Detroit is a big old church city, you know.
Every man wants a church of God in Christ.
Detroit is like a big church city, so you know, it makes sense. Makes sense.
But still, I mean, not everybody go to church, but I like and they might not have gone to church in the last 10 years, but a lot of these guys, they still in church, or they, have some affiliation with church. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
true. Yeah. I don't know. It's just I wish they would just leave it alone. Jesse, your Jack profile pic in the choir. He said this. Do you have your choir robe and your Jack?
No, I had my T.S. Madison website picture on there, to be exact.
Yeah, he said he's not going to stop until the world knows. Ooh, that's a dangerous statement, because now he's asking to be stopped. Somebody is going to stop him, because they're not going to allow you just to continue in this. He done quite. The man said something about he only makes $4,000 a month. He, from the church, and he's mortgage and family and stuff like that. When you start affecting people's livelihood, this always affects livelihoods. This always does. And when you start doing that, people get very desperate. You get very desperate.
And y'all, you better make sure they don't got dispensaries down there.
Yeah.
And you better watch. That's all I gotta say.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Well, thanks, Jesse, for coming up. I'm not going to stay up in here. I've been on 3 hours now. I didn't even just hit 3 hours. Jesus.
Listen.
I didn't mean to do that.
y'all got to calm down with this tea, y'all. Y'all got to calm down.
Listen, like I said, ain't no sense in me putting nothing on these preachers and pastors. They will deliver everything to us.
We know that been rough.
Woman ain't no more Prophet Hall's wife than the man in the moon. We know that. She's crazy.
This year
I don't like to say crazy. She has some problems. Yeah. And if anyone needs mental health assistance, there's the hotline and the website right there.
And St. James is going to be right back here in a few days, telling all y'all stories. Thanks for watching.
Right. All right, Jesse. Thanks, man.
Good night, y'all.
Yeah, good night. I hope y'all enjoyed tonight. If you are catching the replay, go back, and we did discuss the new information from the judge who is fit to be tied with Tyrone Blackburn. The judge has called out all of his Chat GPT stuff, the motions that he put in, just horrible, just very horrible and disrespectful to the court. And they have until the 11th of July. He has till 11th of July to redo his motion. And then the 18th, Jake's folks have it to reply to that. And then on the 24th of July, Blackburn has to show up in court in Pittsburgh and answer to the judge as to why he lied and misrepresented the facts on his motions. So, Tiffany back in the hole in the ground. Well, she was live a few minutes ago. I think she lied, but I think she done got all the clout she could. She picked up the few new subscribers she was gonna get. I believe Tyrone Blackburn Jr., Tiffany Montgomery. She's just a different type of clout chaser. She's a spiritual clout chaser. You all are gay, and you all are witches and warlocks. She one of them clout chasers. But she only say that to the ones who have clout, the ones who have a good following. So that's what she does. I think I have to sneeze. Hold on, y'all. Usually I do about 2 or 3 or 4, but that was only 1. If you would like to support the program, please check out the banner that's below. And you can also, let's see here. Will that go down? Yeah, there you go. There you are, the St. James Show at att.net for your PayPal, Zelle. And that's all books on my email. So if you want to send me some information, let me know. And then to do Cash App, The St. James Show. I appreciate you. $ The St. James Show, or just $ St. James Show to help us with the help us stay alive here at the platform on the St. James Show. Thank you so much for those of you who chose to put a color on it on today. I appreciate you. Let's see who you were on tonight. Let's see. Is my thing working here? My mouse stopped working. Oh, here it is. There you go. Thank you for being a member for 3 months. Or I think you've been a member for longer than that. Dang, it's still not working. I don't know why this thing is not working. But thank you, Kevin. Let's see if it'll let me scroll down. Will it let me scroll down? I can't even scroll down. I am so sorry, y'all. It's not letting me scroll. My mouse is not working. Oh, well. Guess it wasn't for me to, but thank you all of you who supported the platform today. I appreciate you as always. And those of you who send Cash Apps and Zelles and everything after the show during the replay, and if you're watching or whatever, you just think of St. James and just send something. I appreciate you as well. You guys really do a great job with the support of the St. James Show. If you are watching the replay, there is a heart down there that says thanks. Go ahead if you would like to do a super chat or super sticker that way. You can do it like that as well, or just $ the St. James Show. Venmo is also available. Venmo at the St. James Show. Simple, right? You can do it like that as well. So please, 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 if you are not a member of the St. James Show, click on the membership link in the description of this video and join us. I believe I'm gonna do a membership tomorrow, and I got something for y'all. I'm going to Detroit again. I'm going to Detroit. Members, meet me tomorrow in our members only live. We will be in Detroit. All right. So I appreciate you, and make sure you guys Jesse's channel here, the Juice Radio Show came through. Who else came through? Sean Talks came through. Make sure you guys go over there and you support them as well. Other content creators that support the St. James Show. All right. So I appreciate y'all. I want y'all to have a wonderful, blessed Thursday evening. Am I gonna be able to go down? I don't think I can go down. Oh, these are getting on my nerves. These ain't gonna let me. Or maybe if I turn it off. Oh, that's right. I gotta turn it off and turn it back on. Let me shake it. I'm gonna shake it. I'm gonna shake it. You know, we shake everything as Black people like it's gonna work again. Let me see if that shake worked. Let me see. It worked. The shake always worked. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Thursday. It's tomorrow Friday. Oh, tomorrow is Friday. Yes. You late, Joanne lady, but catch the replay. Tomorrow's Friday. We will have a wonderful, and then the weekend is coming. The weekend cometh. All right, y'all. Peace.